What's good, Midwest? We are back with more Roundhouse 2023 Guilty Gear Strive Top 16 coming up. I'm NPC, joined by Randy Valor, and we are going to get into some really great matches today. A lot of players that we saw the other day in the exhibition, right? Some of the top seeds of the bracket showing up from all different parts of the Midwest. A lot of Chicago representation in there as well, right?
100%. A lot of great players. I've been on the stream the past couple of days. It's just been top-notch talent, top to bottom. A lot of EVO finalists, a lot of other major winners and finalists from across the country. And all looking pretty stacked. I'm pretty excited for today.
Definitely. And you mentioned finalists from across the country, where we have definitely some of the regional heroes, people who are finalists in their local events. Vega going to be representing the Michigan scene, always on top of the Ann Arbor locals as well. I know he helps work those as well. Shout outs to the Ann Arbor Michigan scenes. Support your local scenes.
100%. Night Gaming Lounge here, of course, one of the finest venues for the local that we have every other week, FGC meetups. We have Top 16 Guilty Gear Strive coming up shortly here. I think our competitors are getting ready. In the meantime, we have some words from our sponsors.
Yeah.
All right, so if you are interested in competing for World Warrior, if you are any of these highlighted states, it is time. Do it for your city, do it for your town, do the John Wall. Get your points this season as you qualify for a shot at top 8 regional showcase finals. Win your way into that Capcom Cup. Give yourself a shot for that $1 bajillion. The Midwest region has over $9,000 in prize pools available to the top 8 finalists, so sign up right now. Don't do that thing where you wait till the last second and get that late registration fee. Do it right now.
Yep, and again, the link to sign up for that is startgg/SF6 Midwest. The tournament begins at 2 p.m. Central Time, and the top 8 broadcast will be at 5:30 Central Time.
And we got, of course, FGC meetups here at Ignite Gaming Lounge in Skokie, Illinois. It's the largest FGC local in the U.S. and the best one in the U.S. Mark my words. You can take that to the bank. We're hosting in the same venue as Roundhouse. Of course, join us on the 2nd and 4th Fridays of every single month. We got Street Fighter, we got King of Fighters, we got Guilty Gear Strive, all the hits, nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits. And then Start.gg, FGC meetups for the latest info registration. And lastly, of course, shout out the Glyph. It is the most customizable leverless controller on the market today. You can mod the heck out of this thing. Buttons, switches, art. You can buy it a dress. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah,
Take it to dinner.
Shout outs to them for even bringing some of that here to us to try out locally. I was definitely curious to see how that would play out, and they've got so many different customizations. Definitely check them out on Kickstarter as well.
RGB, LEDs, PVTs, D&Ds, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and they provide a lot of support for their product too. They've got blanks to cover up some of the buttons, a lot of customizability. Really interesting product. And it looks like we are getting the players coming up now, and we are going to be starting with SQ and Eddventure, I think.
SQ Eddventure, that is a heavy-hitting first matchup here at our top 16.
But before that, we do have a couple more ads from our sponsors for you before we get into the Strive action.
Red Bull gives you wings.
KOF 15. Hirako Shijo.
一緒に相撲をやりませんか?
right, welcome back. Guilty Gear Strive, top 16. We got Eddventure, we got Soul. Or, sorry, Eddventure and SQ doing a little bit of button check right now. Real quick, for those of you who are not on Start GG, our stacked top 16 bracket, we got Umisho, we got Chris Chaos, Eddventure, SQ right now. We got Hotashi and Bepaw coming up, as well as Jano and Macho, as well as a stacked losers bracket. It's actually top 15 right now. Dostro, whom you may recognize from commentary, yesterday voluntarily decided to step out and do some commentary. He loves it so much that he's going to DQ himself out of the last spot in the losers bracket. So free win for Vega, but everyone else gunning for that top spot. And we have some action coming up here. Ramlethal, Valentine. It looks like Eddventure is going to be on the Sin.
And on the bright side, you can look forward to seeing more commentary from Dostro later. Very excited to see who makes it into this top 8, as 2 of the representatives from regions outside of Chicago are up here in SQ and Eddventure. So many of the other winners' side matches have some Chicago featured players. Umisho recently coming over here. Hotashi as well. Recent move to Chicago does always pull up to the local as well. It's going to be great to see some of the action here from representatives outside of the local scene here, just representing the Midwest as a whole.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, one thing I want to bring up, we've seen a lot of Sin this weekend.
We have.
Sin looking juiced.
A lot of people talking about how the character got some much-needed buffs, and Eddventure, notable proponent of the character after making the swap from Jacko and committing to the character here in the winner's side of bracket as he fights for winner's top 8 spot against SQ, one of, if not the strongest Ramlethal in North America right now.
I was fighting against Chris Chaos' Sin yesterday in bracket. He smoked me. The one thing I noticed as a Soul player, right, Sin just seems a lot more stable in his game plan. His buttons feel like they just work better all together. The chemistry between all the buttons and the normals, always very, very good. Ramlethal, of course, great buttons of her own. They're both feeling each other out in the neutral early burst for SQ, and the pressure is on the Rock, making its first appearance in the set.
Absolutely, but as the Rock comes out, Eddventure maneuvering around it and finding a way in to get the first wall break of this top 16, and just the run-up throw, keeping up the pressure.
Humongous damage and good backdash from SQ to get out of the corner. She is going to need a lot of help here to take this round. Positive bonus is over for Eddventure. The pressure does continue from Eddventure. DP.
Not able to convert off that touch, but does get the little clip with the Elcon. That move being sped up definitely, you know, as you're talking about some consistency buffs for the character, helps so much. And being able to develop a game plan, you can close that space, catch you walking back, or afraid of the overhead, really irons out a lot of his potential game plan.
Yeah, that's something not necessarily any huge changes on the Sin side that are noticeable, but if you fight one or you play Sin, quality of life is definitely upped to the max.
Definitely. It's not like a whole high-low mix situation in pressure, but it is a consistent way that he can close that space and trap you. But now Eddventure might be the one getting trapped as SQ gets a wall break of her own, going into positive bonus here, trying to regain that burst.
Yeah, both these characters, the cool thing is that they can break the wall and do half your health from pretty much anywhere on the screen. The corner carry is insane for both of them.
And so is that counter hit starter. This is going to be big damage for SQ here. Combos just might not kill.
We nerf damage on supers, but
nope.
Not enough.
There it is.
That's a quick 2 rounds.
Absolutely. And one apiece for each player, too. Just speaks to the level of competition we are about to continue to see here today.
Interesting round start options. Dash up for both of them. 2K. SQ will get started out. Eddventure.
Yep. Bursts out of that. Both players spending their burst already in this round. Low resources on the table.
That DP, probably the best DP in the game, getting that offense started, breaking the wall here.
And speaking of resources, built just enough meter RC for that conversion. So aware of having no stamina in that situation. Someone who's just switched to the character. Great awareness also for the air situation to get the air throw.
Super jump, air throw. Good call out. Good recognition there by Eddventure. Quick first game, looking good.
We got the St. Louis flag.
Is that the St. Louis flag?
Absolutely.
That's a dope flag.
Oxy supports a lot of the Xrd scene for St. Louis. Out here repping their scene behind Eddventure, supporting another Guilty Gear player.
Yo, shout out the flags in the Midwest. Chicago's flag. I saw Milwaukee's flag yesterday is dope.
Right? So much love out here for their own local scenes, the Midwest as a whole. Just very supportive scene all around.
I grew up on the East Coast. Our flags are not that cool. They're so lame and old. These are dope.
And I love talking about dope flags as Sin is out here swinging the flag in Ramlethal's face as Eddventure gets
Sin
another
got a
round.
Flag too. Where did the health go?
truly a character to be seen here in the Midwest as we talk about flags.
Yo,
we got
that
2
is
Sin
huge.
players in this top of 16 already.
Yo, let me just call that real quick. So that conversion that Ram gets with the rock now from full screen into the wild, the Wassault is so good. Look at that. Previously, Ram only got, what, far slash into nothing?
I think so.
That
I think she
maybe on
maybe
counter
got Daro.
Yeah, maybe a Dauro on counter hit, but you can tell it's coming in spades. But Eddventure, the pressure in the corner is relentless. When do you
FD.
press?
I like that SQ used the FD to make the hoof stop win. Didn't get the chance to punish there. The hoof stop connecting this time, and Eddventure closing it out.
Yeah, SQ, Ramlethal obviously does not have a invincible reversal of her own without meter. Very, very helpful as a character who, when I play a character with a DP, it's really nice to have that against a Sin because honestly, you don't know when to press sometimes. He can just kind of keep his pressure going with the, especially with the changes now to, the dash changes for Sin, right? He doesn't lose stamina, I think, if he cars into a super, so
Correct.
he can be a little bit more liberal with his use of it, hoping to extend the pressure and then get a wall break without having to burn that resource. So right now we're back at character select.
Yeah, SQ taking a moment to think here.
Does she have a secondary?
I don't think so. I think she's definitely known to primarily play the Ram, but possibly, especially as Eddventure, is on a different character for her to be fighting, right? Hasn't been on this character for super long. One CEO on the classic Jacko pick for him. Maybe taking a moment to think about how to approach this new strategy
Yeah,
from
take a
players
second.
she's fought before. And we are sticking with the characters, the tried and true. I love sticking with your guns for a potential last game situation in the set.
Yeah, I gotta trust in yourself, gotta trust in your character. But you know, it's good to take a second. I know a lot of players here like to just collect themselves, as you mentioned.
Yeah, gotta take a breather.
The thing with Sin, though, I mean, in a sense, he's fairly new-ish in the, I guess, at this top level, right? I don't think there were a ton of Sin players before this patch that we've seen. So maybe this is just a little bit of a matchup inexperience for a lot of the players. I know for me, at least.
Definitely
this
could be.
weekend.
Yeah. And as we saw too recently at Taku, where Tempest made the switch to Sin in Grand Finals. Personally, I think that was also a pick to induce some discomfort for the opponent, right? A character that, as you said, hasn't been seen played a lot at a high level. It's going to be something for all these players to be adjusting to over time here.
Yeah, and Sin, honestly, is very similar to Ram in the sense that he can just run his game plan. It's very, I don't know if linear is the right word, but it's effective, right? Plus frames, overheads, advancing lows.
Yeah, and speaking of advancing, he's got the new 5H buff, making that only -2 the fake plus frames, as we call it sometimes.
Yeah, it's still pretty juiced. It's beefy. I think we were calling beef Kisuke earlier.
The ever-growing wild boy and his beefy
ever-growing.
moves. The whip 5D there, enough advantage to keep it. Wow, fast hoof stomp, I got hit.
That overhead.
Burst is back for SQ. Doesn't matter. Eddventure just too fast, not giving SQ even a moment to breathe. And St. Louis cheering for their boy as he advances to winner's side of top 8.
SQ definitely a little disappointed in her performance, but she has a second chance, of course, going down to the loser side. Eddventure looking very, very strong. Commanding win there against a very, very good player in SQ. Eddventure making the case, hey, you should pick me for the exhibition.
True. I mean, unfortunately, he was not able to be there at the
Yeah,
exhibition.
it was.
Sometimes things can happen with regionals, but you know, we're glad to see him just here in the bracket playing some good Guilty Gear.
And Eddventure, of course, are reigning defending champion from Roundhouse 2022 of last year on the Jacko, but now on the Sin. So
Right.
he's got the he's the man to beat right now.
Yes.
He's got the title.
One Roundhouse last year, one CEO in the middle of this year. Definitely, you know, as you said, showing that he can be a strong contender. He's proven himself time and again that he is one of the best players of this game right now.
Speaking of good players, I think coming up next we got Macho and we got
Jano.
Jano.
Another Ramlethal, one of our Chicago local Ramlethals, has been on the grind, consistently top 8ing our local here, and is no stranger to fighting Macho. These two have met in bracket a lot.
And I will note that
past year.
Macho on Friday the exhibition, I think this was off stream, the finals, he played against SQ, I think, in the finals for the exhibition.
He
did
did.
beat SQ on the Ramlethal, so as you mentioned, Macho no stranger to the Ramlethal Valentine
Right.
matchup. Of course, Zato and Eddie, a little weaker this patch.
Definitely.
Has some new tools, but you know, I think Macho has been sticking strong. I know he considered, or at least was trying to switch to Asuka for a period of time. But right now, I think he's committed.
He is. I mean, we were talking about it one time. He's like, you know, Zato's really the only character I could see myself really playing in this game. And it was funny is people talk about characters in this game. It was said recently on Twitter that a lot of people play Guilty Gear for the love of their character, right? And love to see somebody sticking with their guns despite the character changes that occur over the seasons. And even in a matchup that a lot of people say isn't the best.
Yeah.
But as you say, Macho, no stranger to this matchup. Also, no stranger to this venue and playing here in the Midwest as he switches out the big gaming chair for the classic chair.
Oh, no armrest. Get him out of here.
Setups.
No armrest. Got to be optimal in your seat and comfort.
Macho in his natural habitat here.
Yeah, he's very much
in his
at
element.
home. You know, I was thinking about when you said, you know, sticking to your character, love your character. I'm a Soul player, right? I've stuck with him. I had a quick moment where I switched to Chip, but honestly, patch after patch, you lose so many combo routes, but I keep coming back to him. He's just so fun. And I think, you know, Macho definitely still on that same sentiment, sticking with the Zato, the red Zato 1.
Just how it goes sometimes. Every DLC character, at least I've told myself, this character might really be the one for me.
Yeah,
and every time I go back to Millia, and I'm like, this character is still the most comfortable character for me. And we're seeing Macho on his most comfortable character, Zato, Ramlethal.
Here we go. Jano, Macho, our second match of this top 16 here at Ignite Gaming Lounge, Skokie, Illinois, Roundhouse 23. Let's go.
And, you know, we've talked about established competitors with Eddventure, but Macho was also an EVO finalist for EVO Online in 2021.
I believe he finished 8th, 7th?
Yep.
2021?
Perhaps a settings change going on here as well. But, yeah, I think he was 7th, if I remember correctly, within the online EVO. And even if he hasn't made the top 8 of the EVOs following, Macho has not stopped placing high in tournaments.
Yeah, I believe when I was looking at some of his results from Friday, most, if not all of the majors that he's entered in the past couple of years, he's finished no shorter than like top 60, honestly probably top 32 for the most part. So definitely no stranger to top level competition. Was playing Street Fighter 6 for a while, but you know he did drop that game and wanted to focus completely on Guilty Gear. So all his focus, all his attention is on this game. He, of course, is a legacy Marvel Dragon Ball player, all-around good fighting game player, as well as as we all know, our in-house aspiring med student.
Yep. Somewhat of a lesser known name as a result, not traveling all the time, but Eddie traveling back into his pocket as Macho brings Jano back to the corner.
Yeah, all of us here in Chicago very familiar with this position. Blocking against Macho Zato in the corner is so stressful, and it's not if you're, it's when you're gonna get hit. And Jano taking some big damage early on, looking in a bad spot. The thing with Zato here, the Wild Assault changes and the meter changes. Post wall break, Zato is just a menace. He can just reset pressure over and over again with meter and spend Wild Assault if he wants to get back in with that guard break.
Conversion too off the Pierce hit in the air. You know, so often people talk about the character balance changes, and I know there's been a lot of talk about Zato, as you said, because he did get nerfed some, but you know, when this character touches you, you're still holding big mix.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You got to deal with.
And there it is.
Mix.
Yep. Already the sandwich combo, Jano bursting out, getting offense of his own now.
Full meter for Zato. You got to be careful though. Remember, Zato he is made out of paper mache. Not a lot of health. Jano with meter of his own to spend here, looking to spend it defensively. Unfortunately, Macho's so good at baiting bursts, YRCs, and defensive options. He is always on the lookout. His pressure and his combos are all structured to have certain points where he can just let Eddie do his work.
Yep. And this game has been balanced to make so you more intentionally have to bait these defensive options. But just like we were saying, you know, Zato's still a character that puts you through it when he's got offense going. And Macho very aware that nobody wants to hold on to that.
Yeah, and this mini game, of course, Jano very aware you have to kill Eddie first, trying to find a spot, space it out, kill Eddie as he's coming out, gets the hit, gets Macho into the corner. It is party time. Welcome to the corner.
And just as you said, Zato not made of the thickest stuff. Already on low life from the one combo.
Jano hit him with the hands, though. This should be death. Macho opting to hold the burst, of course.
Doesn't even need the extra wall break hit. Still kills. I like the choice from Jano there to play patient, catching on to Macho. Falling with FD, probably trying to scout Jano's options, but just like, I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to get too antsy.
Yeah, we noticed the round start options for both players. Macho definitely on the winning side of a lot of those interactions early on here. 2S the round start before, this time 5H. big range, outranging Ramlethal, getting her into the corner very quickly. The story is the same. You're going through the wall, positive bonus, wild assault, hard knockdown.
Yep, and wow, the funky oppose mix. I don't even know exactly what was going on there. I saw one oppose, two oppose, a 5H in there, just snakes all over the place. And a perfect for Macho to answer back to Jano's first round.
As they say in Scotland, perfect.
Oppose out once again.
Jano
Macho just sending it. Eddie all the way out here.
Find the space. Ooh, the Rock. I forgot about the Rock. The Rock's probably pretty good in this matchup.
Rock is quite good, and you know we've seen Jano using it in some interesting ways as well. The Rock, a move that you know I've heard some complaints about is she's already strong character and got one of her new moves first, but so much of the counterplay to the Rock evolves around looking for the Rock, trying to jump around it, defend what comes next, and Jano has represented so many interesting options using it to keep Macho trapped, going for establishing strike throw off of it, and paying off.
Yeah.
Just takes a game here.
It definitely rounds out her kit in a very good way. Of course, though, Ramlethal, big nerf for her. Move speed, I don't know if you've tried her out. When I loaded her up just to see, it feels pretty bad. She feels pretty slow. She definitely needed it. She had no reason being that speedy with those Nikes on last patch, but the Rock definitely more than makes up for that. But again, here we are, Macho with Jano in the corner. Fighting out, though.
Yeah, and there it is, the nerf to movement speed you see, like not quite getting all the way in Macho's face for that meat either.
Macho, very, very good recognition there with the oppose to stop the sword. Knew it was coming. And of course, those light buttons for Zato, so strong.
Yep, and the situation where full Eddie in the corner, but the burst taking Eddie away. Macho's got to be on the defensive while his buddy's gone.
Yeah, the nerf to flight as well as the Eddie bar. Gonna require Zato to be a little bit more grounded, a little bit more reliant on those normal buttons. YRC coming out for Jano to take his turn back. Now it's Macho's turn to block. Probably dead. No.
Not quite, but Eddie is still gone, and the counter hit. Jano taking that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think he had Eddie. After that YRC, Eddie was gone for the next 5 to 10 seconds. So
Eddie was gone for a long time there. Burst, then YRC. Jano does not want Eddie on screen.
Yeah, see, when Eddie's out, Jano has to make his move here. He's still trying to space him out, but now Macho's going to have Eddie back here, and the pressure is now back on. And once you are in this position and you are blocking, Zato gets to just run his thing. You close your eyes and you try to block as best as you can.
A wild assault wall break, something we've seen so much in the Season 3. The counter hit 5H, this is a big combo.
And you notice that we have not been able to see a lot of reversal. Not a lot of more Batos, actually, in this set and in the last set. Meter usage has been definitely spent defensively for Ramlethal.
Right, and I mean, Wild Assault with the wall break there, that has been one of the controversial mechanics of this Season 3, right? Great way for characters to try and establish their offense here, and just getting the wake-up throw on the ropes.
Yeah, they wanted to nerf the post-wall break situation for a lot of characters, and they honestly just, I think, wound up making it even stronger for most characters to run their thing after the wall break. 6P, very nice.
Somewhat, but it is a little bit nuanced, right? Because you are spending a pretty hefty resource for it as well. But I think a lot of the choice for defensive RCs is you have a new way to establish offense and a new thing that you also want to defend against, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Reflect Shield, however, I don't think is, at least for me, has not felt as strong relative to the offensive capabilities of Wild Assault, as well as the post-wall break positive bonus. Oh my, what was that?
Maybe a little bit of a misinput there. Perhaps thought he had Eddie, but Eddie was not quite back. But does not matter. The Zato buttons closing it out with a simple combo for Macho.
Quick rounds here for Macho and Jano, 2-1. Definitely still in it.
And the awareness from Macho to convert off that counter hit with just buttons.
Yeah, falling from the air that height. I saw, some air grabs earlier, as well as some, I think he baited a grab out of Jano as he was landing. So these characters, both these players, high level of awareness here on this Sunday afternoon. It's been a long weekend for sure for everyone, but everyone's playing at a very, very good level.
Absolutely.
Quick wall break, Mortabato, goodbye health bar.
As we saw, as you were mentioning, right, Mortabato hasn't been used too much as a reversal, but it still does a lot of damage.
Look at that rock. So what do you do there, right? You can't interrupt the rock. It seems like afterwards, if you block it, I don't know if she's probably not plus, but she's definitely advantageous in the sense that what can you do?
If I remember correctly, she is plus, and you can potentially interrupt it. I know you can IAD over it if you're at the right spacing. You can IAD
right.
punish the rock.
Yeah. So it's very much a brand new game in a lot of senses, right? Guilty Gear, this patch is so different in the mechanics, the interactions, the frame data. A lot of characters, or a lot of players still learning the game and trying to figure out what their best options are against the new stuff. But sometimes you just gotta do the orifice.
And you mentioned the flex shield potentially not being as strong as well, so I think that is just one of those things that also still has to be explored here. We see Jano using the FD to just try and keep Macho out. The flex shield, if time will maybe not in this specific situation, can potentially be another way of accomplishing that, right?
I know that for a lot of if you're reflecting a projectile, for example, it will push the character that pushed the projectile out back. But in this case with Eddie, I do not believe it pushes Zato back. I could be wrong there, but I do know Macho has said the flex shield is not. He doesn't feel like it's a very strong option against Zato, and frankly, we haven't seen much of it at all this set. The sword coming out, pressure going to get extended here. Macho working on Jano. He's going to have 50 meter here to extend after this. Doesn't need it. He's going to, he could have killed there with an extension, but.
Hold burst bait, but no punish, as it is unpunishable, but does not matter. Macho keeping up the pressure anyways and gets the overhead mixed up.
Yeah, that run-up delay, instant overhead is so hard to deal with. You just thinking to yourself, grab maybe, low. There's so many options to look out for. And then Eddie, of course, in the back pocket. So, like I said, I've been there many times. It is a stressful as all hell situation to block against Zato in the corner. There's not much you can do in terms of defensive options without resources, especially without invincible reversal like you are with Ramlethal, without 50 meters. So, but Macho, nice clean win. Jano gonna get sent down in the losers bracket. Again, still got a second shot. Moving down on the winner's side, though, I think we have, who's left? Hotashi?
We have Hotashi and Bepaw, and we have Umisho versus Chris Chaos, which will be an interesting one whenever that comes up, as they've already played a lot this weekend. They played multiple times in the exhibition on Friday as well. Chris playing Sin as well as Eddventure, right? Is no stranger to this matchup.
I know. I don't remember on Friday when I was interviewing Umisho about the halfway point in the exhibition. I was like, "What are your thoughts? What are you feeling coming into the next half of this exhibition?" Umisho, she said, "I just don't want to fight Sin again." If you guys can recall, Chris Chaos did fight Umisho in that first half. Chris wound up beating Umisho. I believe it was like 3-1 or 3-2. Sorry, 2-1. It was his first of two.
Yes.
Then they rematched. They were the first game up on the second half. It was a very close last game, last set, if I can recall correctly. Maybe a double Luigi.
It was a 3-1 for Umisho the first time, and then it was a 3-2 very close last situation between Chris and Umisho. But, you know, Umisho was the person who was on the receiving end of the Tempest Taku as well.
Yeah.
So someone who has been fighting this character at a high level, probably more than anyone else at this point, to be honest, and is about to, again, against Chris Chaos. I mean, you know, I think one of the interesting things about this set, too, is the storyline going on here, right? Chris Chaos, longtime member of the Chicago FGC scene, has given us a lot of mentoring as fighting game players. Played Xrd, Blaze Blue, has been, even played Chip in Plus R for a while.
Chip, strongest soldier in Plus R.
Yes, answer player in Xrd, and just has been such a long time fighting game player. Loves strengthening the scene, loves seeing people do well. Such a representative for the old guard of anime fighters here in Chicago.
He's very much the Yoda of the FGC here in Chicago, right?
You finish a set in bracket with or without Chris, and Chris will just come in, he'll give you the tips, right?
Yeah.
And then we got Umisho, who's not only the new guard in the fighting game scene, right? Coming in from Overwatch, winning EVO, top 8ing EVO again, winning a lot of tournaments, made a name for herself with Happy Chaos, now on Soul, but also new to our scene here in Chicago, recently moved out here and has been coming to the local. So we got such an interesting clash of old versus new here.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, it's Umisho, Hotashi, and Razzo all living together here in Chicago, and that is a stacked really residence in terms of fighting game prowess, and you've got to imagine they have a lot of good practice playing each other in all variety of things. I know Umisho just started getting streaming, started streaming as well recently, so give her some love, check her out. I know she's been getting into it and very excited. Razzo as well wanted to express to me yesterday that she wanted to start streaming as well. So a lot of great talent, a lot of great content creators coming up here in Chicago. We all know these names. They're very strong. Hotashi in the background, giving his support to the roommate.
Shout out Hotashi for also driving them out here all the time.
Yeah, Hotashi hanging out. He plays, I think he plays a lot of card games out here. A lot of Magic.
He does.
Yeah.
Just plays some Magic. And, you know, it's been very consistent from the first week they moved out here, went to the first local that happened after moving out here. It's been such a big supporter of the local scene. It's great to always see such strong players coming out here and strengthening the scene as Chris has for so many years. And I think we're getting a bit of a button check here. Before we get into it, don't want to have any button mishaps before such a momentous set.
Good thing we did, because it looks like we should have change a couple buttons there.
Right. You see Umisho focused up here already. Chris with the headphones on. We know that these two have been taking this specific set very seriously. As we mentioned, you know,
Yeah,
they fought already this weekend, and it has been close games.
Yeah, you gotta wonder the third time. I think the third time now they're meeting over the weekend. What sort of adaptations do you carry over from the sets? These, at the high level, right? Players, of course, have great memories. They remember player habits, tendencies, and make those adjustments as quickly as possible. So we have to wonder here. I think the round start interaction is going to be very telling about how they're going to approach the rest of the set. Do they just chill back, see what the other's going to do? Yep, respectfully, dashing up and blocking for both of them. Umisho getting the first hit, the first knockdown, going to start the pressure. Safe jump there off the clean hit volcanic diaper. Chris fighting his way out of the corner. Pressure has started. Elk Hunt in your face.
I like that both of these players have already expressed such a defensive style as well. We see Chris even getting into danger state from backdashing so much, looking for these pokes. Umisho playing a very passive game.
Trying to catch Chris coming in on that Elk Hunt perhaps. 2S is going to be a very powerful tool for
And does
Soul.
successfully get that there. The counter hit far slash. Chris doesn't want any of it.
Well, BR's that is unfortunate. Does not get the meter 2 kill there. Chris, pretty gangster running up with a DP. Sin, of course, with a phenomenal DP. He had 50 meters, so maybe he was expecting just to take a turn there. DPRC, but Umisho, very crafty, making him whiff.
Yep, and DP not whiffing this time as Chris gets off and started. The IBFD. I like the awareness from Umisho to try and press, but that approaching button from Sin, closing the space.
Chris keeping his pokes very safe, able to 6P that jump in by Umisho. However, Umisho, one of the best defensive players in the country, if not the world. Very good. Second use of the BRC there for the fuzzy overhead. Waddle Salt to break the wall. Umisho in the driver's seat. Chris coming up on burst.
And Umisho a master of soul routing as well, as we said, wall break combo. But Chris with his own sick routing off the DP counter hit, getting the full combo. This is gonna hurt. Choosing to keep the corner instead of going for a wall break situation.
Oh no, that's not
I think that's gonna catch.
Oh no!
But the 6H will, I think that was just a punish on the backdash too.
Yeah, Sin did get buffed. His backdash did get buffed. I don't know what happened after the air throw. It looked like, I don't know if Sin gets a OTG there. I mean, that's what Chris was going for. Maybe I missed input.
I don't think he went for the OTG there because I think it wouldn't have killed.
Yeah, but DP was weird. Maybe a misinput. But both players, again, back up here in the second game. I think you mentioned it earlier. Umisho so optimal with the combos. Both these players are 100% a very early, you know, they have developed a lot of tech for both their characters. Umisho always putting out new tech on Twitter. Chris, of course, sticking with Sin for a long time, very much has his own bag of tricks. Umisho, look at the movement. Moving around the screen, trying to find his spot to get in. Chris Chaos, however, just going in with the Elk Hunt over and over again, enforcing his will, starting his turn. Umisho finding the right spot. 2K2D, misses the second JD into the wall bounce. That would have killed, but a little too far from the wall. Does not matter. BRC, just too lows. Watch your toes.
Not a counter hit either. Chris maybe trying to fuzzy jump there, but the timing can be so tough, especially with that BRC slowdown.
A lot of empty jumps here from Umisho.
Get caught in your pre-jump frames. You know, movements, as you mentioned, right? Movement from Umisho has been such a defining part of your set already. Players trying to move around their respective pokes.
Yeah, and I've noticed that a big thing right now, Umisho blocking a lot of these overheads from Sin. Sin, that overhead has been catching a lot of these players in this top 16 as well as over the weekend. Umisho doing a great job on defense, just blocking against the Elk Hunt. He is plus. Chris is still coming, but Umisho very comfortable just holding down back here.
Throwing the punish, looks like it was a throw on the DP there. BRC to punish the backdash and the burst bait after Bandit Revolver. What awareness from Umisho.
Just like that. Soul bad guy, still of course does buttloads of damage.
Right. Such a hard call out there to make too. Chris seeing the Bandit Revolver, probably assuming, you know, it's going to be guaranteed, but Umisho with a whole round to give, just saying, I don't care if this drops.
Course that 5P anti-air for Chris will get the knockdown. Very, very good anti-air option for Sin. Sin in general, very hard to jump in against.
And, you know, you're talking about optimality in the routing, but also let's not forget the optimal defensive play from Umisho here. Again, with the IBFD and a punish on the pushback situation.
Yeah, and Umisho's DPs have, I think she's had a 100% success rate so far in this set. Plus frames for Fafnir. Very safe options afterwards. 2P, 2K, 2D. Chris, however, able to swap sides. 6K is plus AF.
A triple jab frame kill, too.
You know, a lot of stuff is like, is that fake? Is that real? I'm a big proponent of the real, fake, real medias, but, you know,
Oh, an attempt to air throw there. A little bit off.
Chris, no fear on these DPs. We've seen him just throw them out in this set. You know, everyone thinks of Chris as being this like very strong, but he's got strong fundamentals. He's a great, you know, solid player. But a lot of times you just see Chris just send it with that DP. Sometimes he'll just end up block string with super to catch you matching. So he's always watching your defensive options. Umisho keeping it very varied though.
And hey, you know, he's playing the Wild Boy character.
He is
ever growing Wild Boy.
Wild Boy.
With this wild damage on the wall break.
I
And
think
Umisho just bursting, trying to hold on to her last bit of life in this match.
Chris Chaos with Wild Assault if he wants to extend, chooses not to. I think Sin has red Wild Assault.
Yes, Sin has red Wild Assault. And closing that one out with a close slash. I like Umisho going for the second hit of Bandit Revolver there. You know, there's so many... You mentioned Chris being a little bit wild sometimes with these ZPs and stuff, and I think as we see the double hit of Bandit Revolver, just like this round start DP from Chris.
Umisho answering back with a DP of her own, trying to catch Chris with these
Low
JH
air
in the air.
throw. That's a Guilty Gear classic.
Oh, the empty jump, catching the DP. Chris, cross-up DP, thought he had Umisho dead to rights. Unfortunately, it is Umisho who is going to put Chris in the corner, and then Chris going to sideswap, of course. There it is again, that DP. He's playing Street Fighter out here, always ready. He's like boiled ham.
So is Umisho jumping the throw and getting the punish.
Umisho, that BRC. I can't tell if that's backdash BRC or jump BRC.
It's hard for me to tell, too.
But finding a lot of good
Chris
mileage.
managed to block. And Umisho bursting on a pixel. The belief.
What was that counter hit?
Perhaps a misinput there, or maybe thought she could bait a burst, but Chris with the run-up hoof stomp.
They're just running at each other with hitting them with their biggest moves.
I know, again, such a theme has been that these two have played so much this weekend, and we're seeing a lot of what I think at face value could look like random choices from these two. You can tell that they're already on such a deep layer of home.
Yeah, they're playing the players at this point, right? They
really
are so familiar with each other. The adjustments are happening very quickly. The timing, the rhythm, the pace, and the tempo is ever shifting. Both these players kind of chilling a little bit more this round. Chris, of course, down to tournament point for Umisho if Umisho can take the next two. So being a little bit more careful. This is going to be big damage, though, and a wall break.
Big damage, too, with the Fafnir ender.
Chris with full resources. Interesting that Chris did not opt to extend the pressure after Wild Assault there. Maybe looking for a DP, perhaps, but Umisho, missing the final combo. 2 kill does not matter, though. Jab it out, break the wall. Tournament point for Umisho.
It looked like that little bit of a drop. Chris might have been trying to DP there. He's had 100 bar right, DP on block, you can RC. But Umisho maybe even had the read with that. Dropping combo on purpose, trying to throw off the DP time and get that last half.
I think, you know, if you're Chris, I think you've got to go back to that style you had a little bit earlier where you just have unrelenting pressure. He's being a little careful, obviously still on tournament point. That blue RC
again, the
coming
MVP
in strong. It has to, I think it's got to be BRC backdash, right? Because I think he's looking for the invulnerability frames.
That one just looked like dash up BRC. It looked like a hard call out on the backdash by running in and hitting BRC. And that was enough to close it out for Umisho with the precise 2H ender to take out Chris and send Chris to losers.
Yeah, Umisho, very strong commanding win here. I think we noticed, again, the Sin, very hard to deal with, but Umisho, if you just kind of keep your composure, block it out, keep your defense good, don't get hit by a lot of these overheads. You can stuff out Sin, and then once he's out of those resources, you can take your turn back. Umisho very patient in her gameplay, and we saw it. It worked to her favor in this game. So
it really did, and you talked about the adaptations too, right? We saw so many very defensive options, whether it was backdashes, air backdash, DP, mashing, but I liked the use of BRC there, right? She was so caught onto that and was just trying to slow that down and get the clean punish. If you're pressing a button, you're vulnerable. If you're backdashing, you're getting hit.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, you know, it looked like a lot of these random options. I think you want to call out the DPs in particular. After you play someone that many times in that short amount of time like we have over this weekend, you kind of start to get a feel for their pressure and where the gaps are and where they try to maybe overextend, steal another turn. So a lot of those DPs, they were very calculated, right? They weren't just like, I feel like deep. I know for me at least, right? I just feel like DPing sometimes, so I'll just do it. But you can tell both these players are taking notes, paying attention to the spots and the pressure where, you know, it is the right time. And you see that with the huge success rate that both of them had in hitting those DPs defensively, as well as offensively for Chris.
Yeah. I mean, even for Umisho as well, some of those DPs in combo, right? DPs in places you wouldn't expect and paying off. She managed to close that one out. But for now, we are going to get Bepaw and Hotashi back up here. Two players who have fought so much, especially since Hotashi moved out here to Chicago. They've met in bracket a lot. They've played a lot of casuals, even on Hotashi's stream a few times. Some funny clips out there.
Yeah, I know Bepaw becoming fast friends with a lot of these new folks that are moving into Chicago. Bepaw, of course, one of our best players in Guilty Gear as well as in other games. He is, I believe, he's won Grand Blue, Blaze Blue Cross Tag. I believe he won.
Yep.
I want to say not at Evo. Maybe it was at Evo. Or
It was Combo Breaker.
Combo Breaker, yes.
DB tag at Combo Breaker. You know, maybe not the biggest no-name in the Guilty Gear scene, as he's kind of new to joining the series and competing in Strive in particular, but someone who grew up playing some Xrd and, again, has been a top player in so many other games, winning DB tag, even over Razzo in the past, known in this game, right?
Yeah.
Coming in second place, third place, these really high placements for Grand Blue as well. Another slower, known to be slightly more grounded anime fighter, somewhat similar to this game. And like we said, no stranger to fighting Hotashi, but kind of wondering what character we'll see.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So Marvin Bepaw, we all know, has been swapping around a good bit. Legacy, not Legacy, but has been known to be playing Testament. You'll see the Testament shirt that he's wearing. So it'll be interesting to see. He's been playing Testament. He has also been playing Bridget.
Yep.
As well, so it'll be interesting to see who he is going to pick. Hotashi, of course, we've seen the Nagoriyuki this weekend. We've also seen the Bridget, so it'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll see a Bridget mirror.
The last time I saw these two play in bracket, it was a Bridget mirror, and it came down to a missed DP input. You could hear the scream from across the venue. Very emotional set. It was pretty funny. But yeah, Marvin started off with Testament, or started off actually with Millia. Switch to Testament as soon as they came out. Known for playing zoners in a lot of these other games. Plays 9 and BB tag. She's got the big normals. Plays Fairy and Grand Blue. Also big normals. Interesting set play style as well with the GG. And Marvin gravitating towards those kind of characters. Looks like we are starting off with the Testament here. Not sure if this is a button check or if we're really getting into it here.
Yeah. Well, I think with the Testament shirt and the fact that they picked Testament's song, I think this is going to be for real. Anyone who's ever played Marvin knows that Bepaw is a very calm, cool, collected, composed player. He's very hard to open up. He's very comfortable just chilling full screen, hitting with these big buttons. This looks like a real set.
Talk about calm and collected, calling out the empty yo-yo toss to get that counter hit started.
So both of these characters are basically going to be swinging full screen at each other. Testament with that ginormous scythe, and of course Bridget with that yo-yo twerking on you in the corner. Where did the health go?
Just goes away so fast. She just gets a bunch of little touches so fast, and the big boom for Hotashi taking the first round.
16 seconds in, 1 life down for Bepaw. Going to look to still feel it out, very comfortable, just trying to outspace the normals for Bridget.
Wild assault conversion. I like the burst from Hotashi. You don't want to hold that staying state in the corner. Marvin using this new Arbiter sign already. Maybe too high of a wall.
What did they do? Did they juice up Arbiter sign a little bit?
They did. So Arbiter sign launches higher, and there it is, the deflect shield.
Used
what perfect
very
timing!
Well, right? That's the first time I think I've seen a deflect shield used in that manner, in the sense that Marvin just reflected and knew that he'd be ready to punish the follow-up from Hotashi there.
He was so ready for that.
Gonna get caught out with the yo-yo though.
But yeah, Arbiter sign was buffed to give more of a launch on hit for both versions. It was already plus on the stay safe, so now you get a full pickup and even a safe jump.
And then do you know what the Bridget changes were?
Bridget changes, she didn't get too much change. They did make the scooter push back a little bit harder when you do the scooter kick follow-up, so she doesn't get a free 50-50 off red RC that leads to real makes.
That was such an unfortunate situation. Marvin doing the Arbiter sign just out of range, weirdly, for Bridget. She threw the yo-yo and it just missed her toes by a hair.
But we're continuing. Bepaw sticking with their guns on the Testament here. Love to see more character loyalty in this. And like you said, with Testament's theme, Testament shirt, Marvin's channeling all the energy he can get here for this character.
Using the teleport to get out of dodge. Hotashi, of course, scoping it out, ready for it, ready for the punish. So far, all Hotashi in this first or second game. Marvin on the back foot, trying to get out.
And the teleport in, counter hit close slash. Yeah, you want to burst that.
6P, 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 trying to catch this yo-yo. Got to do one thing at a time. Keep Bridget in the corner, but Hotashi doing a great job of fighting out full meter, full resources for Hotashi, going to spend it on a YRC.
And Marvin just swinging. Eventually, Hotashi pushes some green into it and loses the round.
You know, I think a lot of people have been saying Testament is, and has been, not very good, but in this matchup in particular, I can see definitely why Marvin is picking Testament here.
Right, maybe also just doesn't want to play the mirror. I know with characters with funky movement, mirrors can get a little wonky, but Marvin seems so aware of how to play this matchup, maneuvering just outside of the range of so many of these tools.
Yeah, taking the space very well. It's interesting that Yo-Yo is actually a pretty good foil to Grave Reaper.
Yo, the clash cancel, but the RC for Hotashi.
Hotashi was ready. Marvin, unfortunately, was not look like 2H, or sorry, Grave Reaper was coming out there, already looking for the cancel, not ready for the clash, but Marvin taking it back in spades, first out for Hotashi.
Right.
Gonna
Wild
punish the
Assault
Yo-Yo.
conversion. Not quite in range to get that 5K pickup, but the 6P. And there it is. That's enough to even up the set. You know, you were saying earlier how Marvin is such a calm and collected guy, and you're seeing it so well here as we see these jab conversions, right? The counter hit jab into a full conversion has not missed an opportunity to convert one of those defensive touches.
He's not doing anything super risky, you know, not getting rattled by the loss in the first game. He's still kind of sticking to his game plan, just outspacing Bridget, looking for the opportunities, trying to punish these yo-yo tosses and that far slash and that 2S. Arbiter Sign is such a good tool to check Bridget full screen, not letting her set up at all. Marvin just putting up a wall of hitboxes. Hotashi has to navigate it.
And you're seeing, especially with the use of Arbiter Sign, someone who's such a character master at this point, so aware of the anticipated use of some of these tools.
I don't know if Marvin meant to let him off the wall there.
I'm not quite sure.
I think he thought he had meter to do super and just did not have it for some reason. But
yeah, it looked like it. Seeing the jabs there, probably going for an Astrovia.
Oh, catching the back
Rogers
dash.
super.
Marvin all of a sudden in a very precarious spot. Does have 50 meter, does have burst to bail him out. Going to see if he opts. He does opt to use the burst.
There it is, the belief.
Arbiter Sign, no more resources for Bepaw. Maybe looking for the air grab there. Going to get smoked.
Yes. Definitely thought he was in range to get that air throw there, but a little bit far off.
Air throw, of course, such a reliable option in the air, but Hotashi scoping it out, and now it's Hotashi in the driver's seat. The pressure is on. Marvin has to fight his way out of the corner. Nothing doing, though. Going to eat this super, break the wall. Hotashi, huge commanding lead in this second round here. Marvin going to have to fight back.
But the backdash, managing to get out of pressure again, not being too phased by the lead that Hotashi has right now, and the Arbiter Sign stain pickup.
Both these characters very strong air options, especially in pressure. Hotashi rather scooting his way out of there. Going to have full meter, should kill here with the super.
The Wild
nice
Assault Proration though maybe needs the optimal, and there it is.
Is that optimal?
With the Bridget DP there, right, within the super, you get hits between the hits of the super. So you unstick and restick to the wall and tack on a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, I learned. It's like a Potemkin, right? Just sneaking in some extra normals in between your super. That is some slick optimization guaranteeing the kill.
Ram has another similar thing where she can do the beam and get up there and
yep,
poke
jab,
at you.
jab.
The stick, unstick from the wall kind of thing. And the Wild Assault conversion again from Bepaw.
Yeah, so far this matchup has just been who gets the first hit and who gets to just work on you in the corner.
Right.
Ooh, Marvin scoping out the scoot. Hotashi definitely wanted to do scoot into RC there and continue the pressure. Marvin so ready for it. Just a little bit quicker on these button presses when they're both in that neutral there. Marvin has been seeing some great success just punishing the pokes from Hotashi. So Hotashi definitely trying to find his spot in his window to do some pressure. Marvin does not care, using Grave Reaper so well to stuff the yo-yo rather. And Hotashi just looking to find a spot to set up, find that first hit. Marvin still has him in the corner. That pressure is so quick and so potent. Wall break for Marvin.
It really is, and finding the opportunity again there, and the Stain State post wall break, not quite enough to kill off of this, but positive bonus still for Bepaw, making up the meter that was spent.
No.
Gold burst! The raw gold burst, not close enough. You know, people have talked about the burst changes in this patch and how burst now expands full screen, but gold burst does not, and thankfully for Bepaw, managing to find an opening for the normal hit of Crow to just catch Hotashi.
Yeah, I was joking with Hotashi on Friday. I believe he tried gold burst, or blue burst at least, Umisho on Happy Chaos from full screen a couple times. I think that blue burst is not quite as far or Gold Burst rather, not quite as far as a lot of people are thinking. You know, they did say in the patch notes, it goes full screen now for the most part.
Well, it goes full screen for the blue burst,
yeah.
right? The gold burst is basically unchanged, but I think the funny thing is you get so used to just bursting whatever now that you forget the gold burst isn't quite the same.
yeah, exactly. So again, you know, everyone's still very much so learning this new patch, getting used to it.
Right. The counter hit 2H, Bridget 2H is such a button. And again, coming in here, that's going to be a big start for Hotashi with, did you see that rollback?
Oh yeah, he just
little the backwards roll to the yo-yo to get this big conversion.
Great awareness, Hotashi. Once he's got, oh no.
Throw, PRC, throw, getting just enough time to get a throw that actually works there.
Shout out throw PRC, season 1, welcome. What up?
Yep.
Ooh, perfect. That's what they say in Scotland. They call it a perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Yo, the air jab counter hit? Marvin's awareness is crazy. And, you know, you're talking about sometimes the buttons being placed well, but I think it's also the movement, trying to anticipate a character who can be flying around the screen and preemptively place your buttons to catch what they might
they're
want to
both
do.
trying to play something out. That arbiter sign was a favorable trade in Marvin's favor. And still keeping safe plus frames, of course, with the stain on Bridget. Marvin just putting up a wall. Again, happy to chill.
Yep.
Happy to chill. Not overextending, not you know, trying to take any huge risks in the corner. Knows he has a life lead, and just happy to chill back.
Speaking of like having to chill, did you see that one JD earlier using the momentum to push back and just keep that corner positioning that ended up paying off in the end there as Bepaw takes the lead in this last round?
Yeah, Hotashi looking to use that reflect into far slash. Same concept that Marvin used earlier to punish the button. However, Marvin, that scythe is so big, does not get the punish, but does turn the tables a little bit here, gets a wall break. Hotashi coming up with some positive bonus. Marvin does have resources of his own to use defensively, does not need
and there it is. Burst is not back for Hotashi, but the crow doesn't connect. Charge roll has also been such an interesting tool for Hotashi here, installing the air movement to prevent Bepaw from getting these anti-airs. And a little bit of an extra stall. Catching Marvin.
Yeah, that backdash.
Yo-yo toss.
Roger catching the backdash a second time in the set. Marvin, definitely going to feel that one. That is a bad feeling, right?
Yeah, you can see the disappointment on his face. I'm sure it's just getting frustrated himself for getting a little bit antsy there, right? Getting caught on the backdashes in the end there with the Roger Super, not respecting Bridget's options there enough, right? Roger Super is so good at catching you for doing literally anything.
So fast.
And even if you don't get hit, it's just returned.
You're just like, I'm just going to do a backdash. Just kidding. I'm going to eat my health bar.
Bridget's flying all over screen. Bridget's all over Twitter. It's Bridget's world. We're all just living it.
We're all just living in it. And of course, the crowd showing Marvin some love. Crowd favorite, of course, here locally in Chicago.
Yes, and still in the bracket.
Still in the bracket.
Moving down to loser side, but is still in. And also still in the bracket as we move to loser side is Razzo here. So we're about to get Razzo and Frankopotamus here. Razzo, who got upset in winner's side of her pool, unfortunately, earlier, but made a crazy run through losers to get back here, dropping a single game on the way.
Do you recall who she lost to?
Another Baiken player, as Frank is also a Baiken player, so perhaps the demon character for her this weekend in bracket we'll have to see. But Razzo, of course, a notable name within the Strive community, many top placements. Also got on the stage at CEO last year and made a show, right?
Very strong showing from Razzo. Legacy, or we've known her to be a Leo White Fang player. We've seen the Leo come out a couple times this weekend. She did mention, she has made the swap to Geo full time, but we'll see if she makes, maybe an adjustment this time around against Frankopotamus, who is of course a very strong bike, and I play him a lot. He is a resident POS with his gameplay. He will jab and he will parry and he will just do all the biking things, and you'll be like, what are you doing, man? Why are you doing that? And why does it work? But anyways, before we get to this loser side matchup, we're going to do a couple words from our sponsors. We've got FGC Meetups. Again, this is the largest and best FGC local in the United States. We have over 100, sometimes several hundred players every other week. For second and fourth Friday of every single month, we got Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, King of Fighters, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, all the hits.
And of course, Guilty Gear Strive.
Guilty Gear Strive. And here we go. We got Glyph, the ultimate competition grade all button controller. You can customize the heck out of it. If you're here at the venue, definitely go check it out. They have a couple copies here. They are fun. I want to go check it out early. You used it earlier. You said you had nothing but good things to say about it. Fully customizable art, buttons, switches, anything you want. It's extremely modular. If you like to tinker and you like to customize your controllers, that is the one to get. And as well, we got, of course, World Warrior CPT. Come out for October 28th, 2 p.m. here. Get your points, qualify for a shot at top 8 regional showcase finals, and win your way into the Capcom Cup for a chance at $3 trillion. Of course, CPT, that prize pool is humongous. Capcom, shout out. And of course, if you're in any of these states, it's time to step up. Do it for your city, do it for your town, do the John Wall. And of course, if you are interested, make sure you scan that QR code. Find out some more of the upcoming tournaments on the CPT Tour, Capcom Pro Tour Tour.
Give yourself a chance to get those Capcom bucks.
$8 billion. That's so many dollars. Humongous prize pool.
Red Bull gives you wings.
KOF 15.
よろしくお願いします。
日高市場。
一緒に相撲をやりませんか？
Welcome back, mid-besties. We are about to get into the loser side of this top 16 for Guilty Gear Strive. Coming back to Razzo and Frankopotamus on the Geo and Baiken. Patiently waiting to start over here. Razzo with the color swap this weekend. We see the two-tone hair. I love to see it.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
And Frankopotamus rocking the classic flannel.
The Midwest suit.
Frank has been one of the players in the scene that has constantly been on the grind, you know. We've talked about Chicago being a pretty strong scene. A lot of these players have been practicing with each other. You said you've played Frank a lot, too.
We play Frank a lot. We always see Frank at least in the top 8, or if not very, very close to it, at FGC meetups. He, of course, was at Cream City Convergence this past weekend or 2 weekends ago. Strong showing, top 8 there as well. I believe he finished, I want to say 5th?
I think 5th, yeah.
So no stranger to top competition. I don't know if these players have necessarily played each other in bracket before, but Frank, of course, I know he does stay on the grind. Razzo, of course, as well. So this should be a riveting matchup. Both players are opting to let that intro rock. Let this guy talk whatever he's saying. Yo, same. It's kind of epic, man. It gets me every time. I love that Baiken intro.
So sick. I like that they did that with so many DLC characters, giving them the unique intros. You
shout
let
out
the
Daisuke.
intros rock heading into this match.
The art style is so good. Shout out Daisuke.
This game is so beautiful.
Love Guilty Gear. Look at that new stage, Asuka stage.
Yep. Frankopotamus getting started with a big counter hit.
It's nice seeing these new stages, you know, offline, right? We don't have to worry about lag online. They're so cool, man. Use them.
Right. Just get to enjoy the visuals of this game.
Both players feeling each other out early on, trying to find their spacing. Nothing too committal. That cross-up.
Yo, cross-up.
Frank, like I said, Resident POS loves using all these odd movement options and putting a hitbox behind that you might not necessarily respect, so you always have to be ready.
I like the awareness for Frank, trying to go for the preemptive JH, but Razzo just one step ahead with that throw.
Oh, that close slash, or sorry, that far slash rather, was just out in time. Razzo
Yo, the
for a grab.
5D! Raw 5D to catch the backdash.
Hit him with the knees. Hit him with the knees. Flippy flip.
Absolute guts to do that, and this should kill.
Absolutely. They changed the weights for the characters. They did not change the health. Of course, a lot of the female characters in this game, lower life total, I would imagine, than most of the rest of the cast.
Not necessarily low life total, but also lower weights, so different combo ability, but that has been normalized now. Baiken is a little bit on the lower end. Gio, I think, somewhere middle of the road, but, you know, she gets the power buff when she's got meter. As she's about to, as Razzo goes into positive bonus post-wall break here. Frank with that again, preemptive JH. I like the awareness, trying to catch these air approaches.
Giovanna going full Dr. Manhattan here. You see with the full bar, going to spend it on YRC. Get in here with 50 bar. Ooh.
And the awareness from Razzo, you definitely know that's a situation that has been developed from fighting Baikens in the past, right?
Yeah,
you see Baiken go for BRC, you know what Baiken wants.
Yep. Now, it's interesting here. Frank's going to be definitely paying attention in the pressure strings. We have not seen a counter yet from Frank. I know he is a big fan of it, so he's looking for the spots. I mean, it's interesting he hasn't done it necessarily on Wake Up yet. Razzo getting away with a couple of good meaties. That Chave into Spiral Arrow, but Frank taking that round from Razzo with a sliver up health. Nice little comeback there.
Right. A little bit of a drop there, managed to catch onto the scramble afterwards. We got one round apiece here.
Razzo using that Wild Assault to stay in, extend the pressure. Frank, I'm out of there.
That preemptive JH again, such great defensive awareness here.
Very hard to anti-air that button from Baiken. That sword just stays out and sticks out. A little bit of a disjointed hitbox, extremely hard to contest. Great escape option. Razzo, however, says, get in the corner, break that wall. It's time.
The Geo pressure is on.
Instant TKO Johnson. Why not?
Baiken players want one thing.
They want
several
things. I hate all of them. Look at that. That JH just active forever.
The attempt to bait the burst, Razzo knew.
The backdash BRC.
Just let it happen. And we got even life relatively for both players, but just patient throw from Razzo. That'll do it. Razzo going up 1-0.
Razzo, very strong first round there. Frank fighting back the second one from a sliver of health. And you know what? I think they're still kind of feeling each other out. I would imagine that Frank, or I would expect to see Frank kind of turn up a little bit.
Frank taking the headphones off, right? Going full focus mode.
He
getting
loves,
in the
he
zone.
loves the energy. He loves to hear the crowd.
Chicago, again, such a supportive scene. Crowd's definitely out there rooting for him. Suburbs gang rooting for their boy.
Getting an early burst out from Razzo. Oh. Crosses himself up, gets put in the corner. Nope, just kidding. Welcome back.
I like that choice of Razzo picking the 6-2-3 to beat the raw Yo Johnson.
Giovanna, all the changes over the past couple patches, she's just getting all these very stable, high damaging combo routes with tremendous corner carry and wall break potential. Wall break, of course, being so big this patch. Frank unfortunately drops it. He does have those tether combos on lock. They do so much damage, but however, it's not going to matter. Razzo should be able to kill here if it breaks
Not
the
quite.
wall.
Woo! Needed that little bit of extra meter to close out.
Good awareness.
The nerf to damage has really stood out in this patch as well. That super not killing, the super damages have been so nerfed across
It has,
the board.
but also like there's just so much more options for damage. A lot of more extensions from the Wild Assault that I don't really feel it sometimes, you know?
I think Wild Assault, I think, still prorates really hard, but, you know, certain characters like Geo, you still see the damage because damage is really coming off of things like big counter hits and close slash, and that's a character who's really built to play around trying to get you to press and getting those counter hits. You know?
And Geo especially, she gets so much reward off of just very safe pokes like that. 5P, 6P, gonna combo here, possibly break the wall. I don't think it's gonna kill, however.
Yep. And that, just like I'm saying, right, the damage nerfs, we get a red RC, which has no scaling and still not quite enough to kill there. But we got positive bonus for Razzo, just accepting the buff to the resources.
That dash 5K, so strong. Frank, Baiken, and most other characters on the roster, very hard to deal with. Geo just needs to sit back, use that dash, look for the opportunity to do a little whiff punish with that dash 5K. So strong. Frank on the back seat, or on the back foot here, rather.
But unafraid, just starting off with the far slash. Gets
That
the counter
tether
conversion.
is so important. It is the worst feeling to have that stupid thing lashed onto your hip, and you're just flying around, and Frank is so good, so used to using that as an offensive tool. That is the
And there's
first
another tool that he's used to using, that parry.
at Escabari coming out again, keeping Razzo inside. Let's see what what Frank's going to do here with full meter. Opposite, just let him go. Razzo getting out.
Looked like a throw PRC, and that's enough to kill.
Antonio Johnson is so good, and it has no reason being that good sometimes.
It's just giant, absolutely giant move. But, you know, because it has no reason, they did nerf it and made it a little harder to convert off of.
Very
Did
good
need a
6-speed
little bit of
Razzo
bar.
recognizing that, you know, Frank going for that back dash, air dash option with the tether, ready to scope it out. Frank, however, fights his way out of the corner.
And scoped out that pressure there as Razzo was getting a little bit aggressive. And again, that same situation, right? Baiken's in your face, you know what she wants.
And she's got such great mix options in terms of instant overheads, lows, grabs, tethers, resets. Razzo ready for it though, handling it very well. Frank
also handling a situation well.
Did you see the counter?
Unfazed.
He tried to counter after the far slash from Giovanna, expecting a follow-up. Unfortunately, Razzo is timing it just enough to make it whiff.
Great awareness from Razzo, though, just making the choice of playing a little bit more passively, letting Frankopotamus make a selection to potentially mess up, right?
But Frank, of course, taking that JS is so strong. Spacing out and punishing Razzo's. Oh, I'm over here.
Yo, Johnson again with the
here.
cross up this time.
Frank staggering a little too much there. Razzo able to check the stagger pressure. Going to be able to start some pressure. Road drops the combo. Unfortunately, this is the second time we've seen a bad drop in the corner there that can potentially kill, and you will pay for it with your life.
Yep, and Frank getting a game off of Razzo here. Potentially trying to make this reverse 3-0 happen.
Yeah, Frank definitely looking a little bit more comfortable here. Definitely moving a little bit more. Upping the tempo. Starting to use a little bit more riskier, but, you know, more call-out type options. That Escabari, again, just, it's like 30 frames. You're supposed to jump it, but come on. What are you going to do?
For real. And, like, I like the choices that Frank's been making here, just swinging. Sometimes, you know, people will talk about swinging like it's a scrubby thing, but Frank making the choice here to not be phased.
Yeah, but you notice Frank has been getting punished by a lot of these, like, 2Hs in neutral here.
And
Razzo
getting punished for
aware.
going for that greedy throw.
Frank, of course, having to swap back a little bit more of a patient play style. Giovanna with full meter going to take this round. Frank on his last life here, potentially. Razzo, comfortable lead. Both
Razzo,
characters,
set
first
point.
coming up.
Razzo just down backing here in the corner. Not
You have to play
phased.
this minigame with the Tommy Mat, with Kabari.
Right. And there it is, deflect shield, right? Frank going for that safe jump there. And I like the choice to use deflect shield there, knowing that Baiken doesn't really have an approaching option, right?
Oh,
she's not coming back.
Finally
But
catches the meaty with the counter.
that's a big comeback opportunity for Frank here.
Razzo! Oh.
The BRC and just the patient RC from Razzo to respond.
Frank says, I can grab you two. Where am I? I'm
Yo,
over
Johnson,
here.
whiff?
I don't know if that's intentional or not, but hey, that JS trying to
for the
scope out a
whiff
button.
punish.
Razzo staying patient. The
Tether.
coming in clutch there.
Yoinked Frank just out of range and then right back in there.
Yeah, Razzo looking for a safe 5K, gets pulled back in and gets punished by Frank. Like I said, he is so well-versed with the weird tether mechanic. I'm over here.
Speaking of well-versed, you know,
I'm
Gio's a
over
character we have a
here.
lot here.
Dude, this character is it's a clown fiesta, dude.
For real. I feel like that was some
why are you over there?
These characters just flying all over the
I don't know if
screen.
Razzo walk. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a
Whoa,
huge burst
my
fake, but the
goodness.
drop maybe a little bit too far to get that full conversion.
These drops are absolutely killing Razzo. Frank, liberal use of the tether, however, still on defense as Razzo is twerking on Unicorn, taking your turn back. That is a punish, actually.
It really is. And she's -4 there. And Baiken with the 4-frame jab. Taking
Oh!
advantage of it. That's going to be
Wow.
enough. Not enough proration to survive that.
Close set. Frank definitely picked it up a little bit too late in the set. He was definitely heating up a little bit, getting a little bit more comfortable. Like I said, I don't know if we've seen these two necessarily play in bracket before. You see big smiles in the crowd. Umisho,
Yep.
shout out.
Supporting her girl from back there. But you know, a great fight from Frankopotamus, making that last one really close, 3-1, but it was very close. And I believe Frank might be signaling for some sound issues from the headset. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties here. But you know what? Great stuff either way. Cool to see Chicago making it to top 16 and putting up a good fight against another Chicago player in Razzo.
A little bit of team kill, but hey, it'll happen when most of the top 16 is from Chicago. So
It really will.
Great weekend so far, man.
Definitely, and so many tight sets. You know, Razzo is clearly the more established name in the Guilty Gear Strive community, but seeing Frank put up such a good fight there, this top 16 is so stacked that so many of these sets can really just go either way.
Yeah, and I think I was talking about with Doster yesterday. It's been cool to see kind of the progression and the growth from a lot of the players in our community. I know, you know, every single major that rolls around, more and more of our players make it out of pools, win a couple more games, get a little bit closer to that top 64, top 32. Frank, definitely one of those players who's shown tremendous growth and mastery of their character over the past couple of years. So, you know, Frank, like I said, whoops my butt online all the time, resident POS, but people can change.
Definitely. I mean, I was counting it over with somebody looking at the pools earlier this weekend. We had 24-person pools, 4 24-person pools, near 100-person bracket, 96 people. And we're counting through the pools. Only 4 people make it out. We're like 6 to 8 people in every pool make it out of their pools at majors.
For a regional of our size, I believe this is the 3rd or 4th year they've been doing
Third
this?
Roundhouse.
Third Roundhouse.
Roundhouse 3 in 2023.
I remember the first one in 2021 was about a little over 100 players.
Right.
Roundhouse 2, a little over 200 players. Now we have a little over 300. We are growing pretty quickly every single year. And, of course, Ignite Gaming Lounge, a phenomenal venue. Shout out to the staff here as well as the bartenders. Tip your bartenders, grab a drink, grab some food.
And the kitchen, yes, as you said, grab some food. We got a lot of players I know who, like, every time they come for the local, plan on eating here.
Yeah,
it's good vibes.
I ate here last night. They got a new menu.
Brand new menu as of within the past week. Fresh for this event for us here in the FGC.
Drinks, cocktails are all tremendous. I highly recommend all of them.
If you are in Illinois, every 2nd and 4th Friday, be here. If you are in the building, even if you're not in bracket, I haven't entered a bracket here in at least a year.
Come hang out.
If you're here in the building, it's good vibes.
We got Magic the Gathering. We got chess. We got mystery bracket. We got all sorts of, and a little bit of something for everyone. And if you don't have something, bring a setup. You've run a lot of community tournaments in the past, right?
I run current code, Old Melty Blood, the classic.
And back, by the way, it's free.
It is free.
Check
Play
it out.
Melty Blood. Also register for Melty Blood at Frosty Faustings. We are a featured side game. But also featured right now on the stream is going to be Barrik and Jano. Jano, who we saw earlier on the Ramlethal. Barrik representing, I believe it is Minnesota FGC over here on the Leo. Was also in that exhibition yesterday, representing Team the World.
Team not Chicago.
Yes, Team not Chicago.
Minnesota FGC. Jano getting knocked out by Macho, you saw earlier. Barrik. This is, I
was talking to Barrik earlier about this too, and Barrik said this is one of his most played matchups. Ramlethal. I believe they have some strong Ramlethals out there as well, and you can see the character experience here from Barrik, getting the full conversion here.
That is interesting there. I would have thought that Leo was able to OS that with the counter. Maybe he was just a little bit late on the dash up. That dash up super.
Reversal super.
What are you doing?
Woo! 2 reversal super in like 2 seconds there.
Hey, that's fine. You do you, King. Pop off.
Ramlethal zoning here, and again, you can see that experience from Barrik not being phased by the rock, but Jano not being phased by his defense as well, gets to the counter hit to get offense started here.
The pacing and the pressure, relentless from full screen. Again, that rock looks so. I'm not playing against a lot of Rams.
Maybe thought Jano was going to come in for bigger pressure, but whoo! Jano closing that one out with a perfect. I like the use of spacing there.
Yeah.
Not doing the quote-unquote normal Ram stuff of pressing strong advantage, just playing in a range where she can be safe.
Yeah, using the normals. Oh, that 2S is so juicy.
The range may be too great to even convert there, but...
And making it very hard for Leo to use any of his defensive options. DP, for example, we've only seen one that was blocked. And at this range, what are you going to do? They're trying to force his way in with 236S, whatever that's called, Gewürztraminer.
The BRC conversion off JD is crazy, but so is the raw reversal super from Jano to close that one out.
Hey, you see back turn, I say super.
True. Every time I see back turn, it's like, especially with a 100 bar, I want to be pressing, because like you can't block when you're in back turn, you got to call out with the parry.
Yeah, I know Leo, at least for some of those meaty setups, that he is able to OS with the counter, but second time there, Jano would sneak in a super for some big damage and a round. And it's all Jano again here in game 2. Barrik fighting back.
With that big counter hit starter, Jano wants none of it, bursting so fast there.
Barrik trying to use the resources to just get in and force his way in with a little bit of a neutral skip. You know, he might be getting a little bit frustrated with kind of this just unrelenting wall of hitboxes that Jano is putting in the corner. But Barrik, of course, I am Leo Whitefang. You are in the corner. You are in danger.
But now Barrik potentially in danger after eating that counter hit. And no, the counter hit 2H starter. That's a big one with the full corner carry. And Barrik maintaining offense to finish him off.
You see him doing again with that a little bit of a neutral step, using the RC to just get in, working out for him this time. However, Jano, punishing the whiff 2D. That is such a juice button from Leo, but Jano able to scope it out with a backdash. Now you're in the corner against Ram, whiffing a DP, and your life bar is going to be depleted.
Yep, and the same thing, right? Jano just playing at Ram's comfortable range here, and you are already on a pixel.
Very tough spot for Barrik here.
Like you said, damage may have been nerfed, but characters like Ram who can just get these big counter hit starters.
And that was a perfect round, or as they say in Scotland, a perfect round.
Yep. I like the awareness from Jano using FD and the jabs to just not commit as Barrik goes for that throw.
Oh, there we go. See a little bit of adaptation there. Barrik.
And the Leo funny stuff. Stance cancel is plus.
Ooh, that was same side. I looked like there was a cross up there. It was not.
Staying in back turn. Never mind.
Just a little bit.
Out.
Just gotta let you know,
Yep. The air instant block from Jano is so
scoping out the tick throw is Jano. Very, very good awareness. I don't know if Barrik was necessarily going for that, but Jano was ready for it after the wild assault. Just a quick jab, whiffing the throw, keeping it safe with PRC. We shout out Season 1.
Barrik not committing too fast to punish.
Barrik.
I like the raw 2-3-6 to just close that space and baiting the burst. Great awareness. Jano probably waiting for Barrik to commit to something to finish him off. But Barrik being so aware, right?
Yeah, nice back and forth
here. Did he
here.
have to RC?
No. Just nice, clean, easy. Barrik. I think we'll see a lot of the same here. Jano starting the pressure early. Barrik trying to find a spot. Blaze
the patience.
Blurst the Blaze again this time. For Barrik.
Blurst the Blaze.
I haven't been able to say that all weekend. So I'm just going to commit to it.
Nice. Crazy stuff happen out here. No one notices. It's all good. I like that pickup and the 2-3-6H cross up, but Jano just throwing out the pressure.
Dude, Jano is always ready. He's like boiled ham, grabbing the cross up run through again this time.
And grabbing the DP, just raw run up throw on the DP.
Both these players are very, very quickly starting to notice some habits, pay attention to doing some hard reads and some hard call outs. I'd expect Barrick's looking for his spot to get in yet again. Looking for the rock.
Yep.
Gonna eat a wall break.
Kind of crazy looking at this and seeing how both players are playing the matchup in such
Is that rock a low,
ways.
or is it a mid?
It's a mid. I think.
That would be insane if it was
I have
low.
to double check myself on that one.
Barrik having to burst there because Jano would have just supered and killed, able to get it out, but does not matter. He will break the wall. I don't need to break the wall. Just going to kill him with a perfect round, or as they say in Scotland.
The 5 golden letters. And we're just getting right back in there.
Quick game.
They're not wasting any time trying to even up this set here.
Round start options.
Rock
Barrik.
whiff, but a little later than just do it again. I love seeing that.
Why not?
Someone who doesn't play a character with DPs, every time I have one, I want to just do it like that.
Yeah,
I feel that in my soul. See,
sometimes I'll just
DP.
only DP for the entire game. Why not?
It's a good feeling. Every time that hits, even when it doesn't hit, it feels good.
I also love that combo every time I see it by Leo. That little ground bounce into the super is just like, well, yep, see ya.
Ground bounce combos in this game look so cool. I mean, I know some people have complained about the no air tech situation in this game, but the juggles say it, and the way the combos pick up in this game looks so sick.
Yeah, you're just rickrolling on the ground, waiting to die. Quick round from Barrik, fighting back. So strong. That round start 2S. The round start options for Jano have been definitely in his favor, getting the best of Barrik. But Barrik able to stay strong.
Looked like that rock maybe caught a backdasher. It is, in fact, a mid. I have to double check myself there.
Thank goodness.
Absolutely. Ram does not need another mix-up tool.
Barrik trying to use that guard point, trying to just find a way in, get a hit, get a knockdown. Of course, Leo, one of the most dangerous characters once he gets you going in his schmicks and he starts to work on you. But Jano looking like he won't kill here, but it's going to get a hard knockdown.
Right, and choosing to go for the wild assault to remove the burst.
Hey, why
and
not?
There it is. Yep.
You're down so much in health. You have a round to spare. Might as well, right? You block something here, you got to deal with Ramlethal pressure, with meter, with Wild Assault. I'm not trying to do that.
Barrik has been really good about trying to patiently close space in neutral in this matchup, but Jano has been so good at sniffing out the impatience on defense there.
Yeah, Barrik just
baiting
looking for a
DP
spot.
after DP.
Looking for a spot, waiting. 6P. Leo not known for his jump-ins, but Barrik finding his spot right there. Oh, Jano has been noticing that Barrik doing a lot of just dash block. Gonna call it out with the run-up grab in between the pressure. Looking for it again. Ramp is slower. She got new bounces on instead of Nikes, but she's still got some moves. She might be able to kill. Yeah, she will be able
That
to
should be enough. And there it is. Jano, I believe, advancing to top 8 on the loser side over Barrik here.
Barrik, a strong player. We've seen a great bit of him this weekend in the exhibition as well as in bracket going home. Finishing top 16, not bad at all when you consider the rest of your peers in this bracket. Again, so stacked, so strong. I think, who do we have left in the loser side?
We have, I believe, SQ and Razzo.
SQ and Razzo, and I think Vega, it was going to be Vega and Dastro, but Dastro.
Vega and Dastro, yes, unfortunately did not play, as Dastro is preferring to do the commentary for top 8 later instead.
Well, he's doing commentary right now, right next door.
Yes, right
Mystery
next door.
bracket, by the way.
Check out the mystery bracket, a Chicago classic. It is also
tab.
going to be at Frosty's. If you're going to be at Frosty's, consider keeping an eye out for when that cap opens up. Mystery fills up crazy
I think it's
fast.
already capped out.
It's capped out right now, but
They might open up
lately
spots.
at the recent events, they've been raising the cap occasionally, but if you want to get in, you've got to really keep an eye on that. As soon as that goes up, it's going to fill
It is
up.
the fastest selling out event at almost any major, right? The
Right.
day of, couple hours when it opens up. I got in this time. This
Okay,
is the first
let's go.
time I've ever been able to be in a mystery bracket at a major. I'm always late on the draw. This time I had a calendar reminder set, an alarm. I was like, noon on Wednesday, we are signing up for Frosty Faustings. We are getting in the mystery bracket. Shout out Mr. Goo.
Yep. Even 24 hours in, Frosty tweeted about the mystery bracket cap because they know that that stuff fills up really fast.
Yeah, of course, if you haven't signed up already, I know hotels are filling up fast. Frosty getting bigger and bigger every single year. Very excited for that in January this time around. Hope to see a lot of you there. And, of course, we'll be seeing a lot of these players in attendance as well as from across the world.
Definitely, especially being a major here in the Midwest, we will be seeing some of these players. Vega has also been traveling out to more majors. Recently was very, very close to top 24 at CEO Taku.
Yeah, we also saw Vega in the exhibition on Friday. Solid performance.
I don't think these two even played in that exhibition, even though they were on opposing teams. This might be their first set this weekend. And Vega on the Millia, fighting Chris Chaos on the Sin. I don't know if they have any Sin players out there in Michigan, but we definitely have had a couple Millias here.
Yeah, well, Millia's one
Chicago.
of those characters. I mean, you know this more than anyone, right? It's like you can just win with Millia, right? She knocks you down, she just twerks on you. All of her pressure is relatively DP, reversal safe. A lot of the setups
Not
are
entirely true. Millia doesn't exactly like these pieces, but the mix-ups are pretty safe. But Millia is a character that's, she's zooming around the screen. She's trying to bait you to use those DPs or try and press in the wrong spot. She can be so shifty. But Sin, a character who's got his own shiftiness as well with the way he can vary his pokes and approaches from afar and in your face. But don't get me wrong, the gray hairs are not just hair color. It's from the stress of playing a low-health character.
Yeah, Millia
Sin,
does
the
just
wild
die.
boy, gets that wild damage, and we might even see it.
Yeah.
If Sin gets the right starter conversion,
just die.
especially not spending extra stamina to go into the Tyrant Barrel.
Yeah, and Sin, of course, just gets tremendous corner carry and can just pretty much break the wall with Tyrant Barrel, or sorry, the other super, almost anywhere
Ride
he
the
wants.
Lightning.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning, RTL, shout out.
Yep.
Millia players, I play you, I played a couple other friends who play Millia, and over the years, I'd say Millia has just continued to be developed. The mix just continued to get stronger, more potent, and more, frankly, ridiculous.
Yep.
The turbo fall changes, she's just here, there, everywhere. I literally sometimes just like turn my controller upside. I don't know what. I just close my eyes and just try to block.
Sometimes you just gotta pray. But Chris Chaos not trying to guess on anything here.
Oh, instant run up 2P.
And there it is, cross up to start this off. Opting to go for a simple ender instead of the rejump.
TK Badman without meter, a little bit risky, but does get the knockdown. Risk does pay off, but Chris able to get out of the corner. I don't want to be here.
Getting
Burst.
all the way in there with the close slash.
Yo, did you see that hair car?
Yep.
Beating out the far slash? Gangster.
And the
I'm over here.
TK Turbo Fall. I love, as a Millia player, I love seeing a Millia. As a Melty Blood player, I love the shifty movement. A lot of people notice that Melty Blood players tend towards Millia.
Dude, TK
Turbo Fall is so
Turbo
sneaky.
Fall, sometimes it's, you think cross up every time if you can. It's,
And there it
but
is,
same side, right?
side
I was
Turbo
just gonna
Fall.
say.
I play this character and I don't know.
I don't know how you can make it. That I don't even care.
It's a guess for me too. I have no idea. But Chris not trying to guess, just DPing out of there. Like
Bro,
you
she
said,
just
some of her
got-
stuff not the most DP safe. Doesn't matter.
Got jean shorts on, twerking on you, Miley Cyrus. It's ridiculous.
Vega is just not giving Chris any room to protect Miley Cyrus. Not like this.
Quick first round for Vega, looking super strong. Chris trying to stabilize. Not able to get much started on the ground. Vega just in the air. Chris is able to find, he's got to find some answer to this air movement and these jumps. That JH is so strong from Millia, but he's able to take Vega into the corner. Oop.
I like the attempt to air throw there, and Chris just with these ZPs, you know, is not trying to hold extra mix.
I keep thinking cross up on the Capel there, but he's staying side.
Oh, the TK Turbo cross up. Chris inputting DP. I don't know if the autocorrected if it hit on the right side, but if Chris read that cross up, he's crazy for that.
Hey, there is a cross up DP OS. I don't know the run up DP. I don't know if he was expecting
Oh, might
to
be
get
Chris
meter.
now a cheatbox player as well. Might be able to hit those.
Yeah, I think he was expecting the having enough meter to RC that DP, that run up DP, just to skip neutral a little bit, but doesn't matter. Picks up the round.
Yep, a little bit of a drop there from Vega. I think that 2H was probably an attempt to H-disc that went a little bit awry. And we get the mix-up after the 2D. Vega has, that's one of the things, right, where, as I was saying, her DP, her pressure isn't wholly DP safe, but she has to bait it.
Yeah,
She's got a
we
lot
saw
of
empty,
ways.
empty cross up there, right? To look
Yes.
for a DP perhaps.
And Vega so far has not represented a lot of specials after 2D, but anything she does there is DP.
The safe
burst
close
attempt.
slash? Question mark? Burst safe close slash?
And a little bit of a pickup here with the RC, drops the combo to wall break.
Chris using that RC movement to drift back and get the anti-air. Huge awareness from Chris to pick up that round and answering back in kind. Vega very much so in control of that first game. Chris very comfortable in the second. We'll see what happens in the third.
That was a deep hoof stomp to go for.
Yo,
And,
that call out.
Calling out the IAD with just the raw air throw.
Yo, Chris is filling himself right now.
Yep. Just DPing on all of these pokes.
Millia is so hard to lock down in the corner, but you're going coast to coast. Welcome to the other corner, Chris.
Chris saying, you want to play a fast game? I can do that too. And he is in there just going for the highs and lows, saying, I got mix-ups too. Baits the
Looking for the
DP this
DP.
time. Gets the funny safe jump opportunity
Yeah,
here.
he
And a
just-
bait on the DP. Again, I like the use of the preemptive DP. Chris probably trying to catch an early air option there. But Vega is just in there. And this super might be enough to kill. There it
Wow.
is.
I was gonna
the
say,
post-wall break damage doing just enough to kill.
I was questioning Chris using the burst earlier with such a life lead to just secure the round. But like I said earlier, Millia can just win once she gets one knockdown. And we saw that there. Vega
Really
very
can-
nice comeback.
The sneaky cross-up turbo fall there after the JH hitting. That one is so hard to block.
Just going for the grab. What's next?
Millia's mix-ups, part of the way they're so ambiguous is when that disc doesn't hit meaty, she can sneak in a throw.
Good awareness by Chris to get out of that
Base
throw
deflect
setup.
shield.
Staying in that overhead again, like I mentioned, so strong.
Hoof Stomp has been the MVP for Chris here, both closing space and getting a bit of a mix-up.
Dude,
Vega, no fear though.
Vega has done something on that run-up close slash after the wall break every single time. It's been burst, and he does throw there. Not wanting to stay still, not wanting to
Capel
deal
to
with
bait
that.
the anti-air,
Missing the close slash. Chris is like, I'm out of there.
and the DP again to get out of there.
Didn't believe himself there on the 5K. Could have won the round with the RC, but opting to just get out of dodge. Chris is going to be able to kill there. Watch your toes. I like those. Shout out Sankola.
Again, a little bit of the lack of belief in himself there. Vega had a couple chances to close out, but didn't quite get those last hits. The instant blocks from Chris here was hard to. I thought he was going to DP there for sure.
Good IB on the close slash and on the Lust Shaker. Very important defensive tool against Millia. Very underrated. Yeah, I'm out of
And
there.
the
I'm
fuzzy
not
jump
dealing
there,
with
that is fake off some knockdowns. Chris just sniffing the opportunity to go for it.
That is such a dangerous 2D at that range, right in your face. It has to cancel the Lust Shaker and get out of there. Chris, no punish, but able to just, I'm sorry, I can't keep up with how quick everything is happening on the screen. And we're chilling.
It's really hard, but you know, Millia is zooming, and I like that Vega has adapted to try and use the Capel here to get some of these. And the deflect shield to block the hoof stomp here, trying to sniff out that Chris is going to go for some mix-up here.
ran at her. for like a solid second.
And I love that Sin gets his pickups now off the Gazelle Step. Gazelle Step 2K looks so cool.
And we saw Chris, I think he went into negative penalty there, but still, he doesn't.
And there it is, the DPable pressure.
Like I
but Vega
said,
with the reversal of his own, the raw winger.
I do not want to block close slash on wake up. I'm going to do something. My name is Vega. Chris has to deal. He's gotten hit by it a couple of times so far.
And Vega just zooming around trying to get a read for what Chris might be trying to catch. Funny
I'm
mix-up
over here.
opportunity with the cross-up turbo fall.
First,
That was definitely
Sin full meter. Needs to get.
the falling JS using the range of this button to catch Chris slipping in the corner here. And Vega trying to close out the set, going up 2-1.
They get very comfortable just flying around, waiting for his spot. Chris having to chase a little bit. You got to wonder, it gets frustrating sometimes when Milla's just like, yo, come down. I'm trying to hit you.
Whoo! The fat cross up using the capital to create extra distance from that DP. I like the awareness from Vega here.
Burst is off. Wow, the super jump.
Woo.
Air grab. Get out of the sky, bro.
We saw that
Eat
from
this
Eddventure
pressure.
earlier too. And the hoof stomp again.
Yeah, as I mentioned, that hoof stomp is so strong. If you cannot block that, you are not going to have a good time against Sin. Chris almost calling out the jump out.
I like that 6P from Vega, trying to catch an air option here. Using the
The run
Jurassic
up.
control space.
DP finding his spot.
And again, the deep hoof stomp.
Yeah.
Getting the overhead for Chris.
I got
Close out the round.
mix-ups too.
Same. I always think these FDs are going to push him out too far for that to connect, but it just gets that little.
Oh, no!
A little too fast on the throw. Probably actually had the read there too, just a little bit mistimed to get the pickup.
Wow. You know what's funny? I think.
To maintain pressure. I like that Vega tried to press there, but they sped up that move. You can't do that anymore.
Well, I think Vega. So they both. Chris blocked in the air. I think Vega was just 2+ when they landed to actually grab, and Chris was able to use that throw protection.
Millia can actually act before landing from a capital that high. If she hits a JK, she can force you to air block, and then she gets a turn off of that. But a little bit of a mistap there. It looked like, I'm not sure if maybe something happened here.
Maybe
The players are laughing it off as we go back to
we're
character
looking for
select screen.
Yeah, we're looking for a music change. I like that.
And there it is. We're getting the vibes. Millia with Millia's theme. Vega's trying to absorb all the energy she can get, or he can get. So we see the Michigan homies in the back. Shout outs to Zapoke and the Toledo gang for driving out and always supporting. Hats off. All respect, all focus.
Here we
These
go.
players are in here for this Game 5. I think that's our first Game 5.
I haven't blinked in like 10 minutes, so sorry.
You know, if you blink once, you're going to miss what Millia's doing. So
literally,
I can't even
it
blink.
is so fast. These guys are just zooming around. They're like a dog on crack. They're just like flying around the screen. They're both
Millia
just
is
going at it. All right, here we go.
Letting the round intros rock.
I like it.
Building up the suspense.
He is
The wild boy is stanced up with his flag.
He's ever growing.
Millia on face.
Woof. Here we go. Game 5. Chris Chaos, Vega, top 16 here in Roundhouse 23. Vega getting it started early with.
Gets the right punish on that DP. Knows that you can punish after first hit. Don't have to hold that RPS.
Chris getting a little impatient, saying, I want my turn back.
Charged Wild Assault. A lot of DP off the table.
Yeah, full meter. You got to expect something
Gets
there.
a
Goes
low,
for the
and that
low.
will be enough to kill.
Yeah, and post hair car with RC, you get a dirty mix. Instant overhead or low if you like.
And
As
Vega
Millia.
with more bursts on the table after that Wild Assault.
Chris, first throw of the day after the dash. Very nice. Has been having trouble keeping Vega in the corner, but able to kind of,
Unpunishable gold burst.
Yeah, burst this patch, much harder to punish, especially from that range. Sin.
I like the choice of the retreating JH, just using Sin's range to get the punish here. Slight pickup, Capital to try and
That was cross up.
block that. I don't know if that was a cross up, but I think maybe just caught Chris trying to move forward.
Chris losing meter in danger again, but that's all right. He's just looking.
He's just trying to not get tagged.
He knows he needs to get one hit.
That's really all it takes him to end.
no.
The missed throw punish opportunity.
Flush shaker. Oh,
Raw hair
yo,
card
that
into
instant.
mix. The fast RC. You know, there's a funny piece of tech with that hair car is sometimes when you fast RC it, sometimes they'll hit overhead, sometimes they'll hit low.
Chris.
There's a way to get it to always hit overhead.
Chris defensively so good here, blocking for his life. Oh no!
Just chasing. That JD looked like it was definitely an air throw attempt.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Yep. Every time I see that JD when players are close to each other,
Yo!
it's a big counter hit! And just enough there to close that one out. Chris shaking his head. He definitely felt the pressure there. Bro is shrimping.
Again, both these players
Big punish
just
on the air
taking
throw
to the skies.
attempts. And
Rough
just
grab.
going for the throw here.
Vega trying to slow it down a little bit.
Triple overhead. I got hit. I didn't even know you still had air dashes for that.
Excuse me? That was cross up. That was
Cross
same
up
side.
again.
No, that was cross up. You're right. Should be able to kill here with the extension. No.
Not enough. One more chance for Chris here. And there it is. Vega with the pop-off. Closing it out over Chris Chaos to advance the top 8 on loser's side. Michigan homies
Hard set.
come to give their boy props.
Fought set for both players. Chris showing some love. Shout out Chris Chaos. What a legend. Great run so far in this tournament. Vega, however, able to pull it out. That was a frantic set for both players.
I cannot
Hearts
blink for that
are
last game.
beating so fast. You can see the sign of relief on Vega's face. Chris, however, going to go home in the top 16, but not able to break into the top 8, I don't think.
Just shy, ending in 9th place, but great stuff to Chris, putting out with the sin all weekend. And again, you see even like the other Michigan homies coming to support Vega. They knew they had to pull out all the stops to get that win. But advancing to top 8 on the loser side, we will see him again later. And another player that we saw earlier who's returning to the stage is Marvin Bepaw, coming back maybe with Testament, maybe with the Bridget. We will have to see. And I am not sure who Marvin is fighting, actually. I believe it might be Limland.
Limland. Oh, first time we're seeing Limland.
Limland, actually our own Chicago local Millia, has been the current Millia player winning for our scene. Has a lot of top 8 placements, has fought Marvin a lot in our locals.
Yeah.
Has also taken sets off of some of the stronger players, plays a lot against players like Macho and Hotashi here. Has been on the grind.
It does look like Limland played off stream, I think, against Bomber Boy, winning the first round in the loser's side.
Yes,
and
some
advancing.
of the early top 16 sets did have to run off stream, but we are getting into this now with Limland and Bepaw trying to fight for one of these loser spots here, heading into this top 8. It's going to be a tight one either way. What's interesting about Marvin fighting Millia here is Marvin started this game on Millia.
Yeah, Marvin,
Millia.
you Millia players just cannot keep away, right? She is so fun. She looks like a blast to play.
She's a great time. And actually, fun fact, Marvin started off in Millia because he played the character in Exerd. He was a lot younger.
Oh, Marvin used to play Millia in Exerd.
Marvin played Millia in Exerd when he was younger and first trying out fighting games. He was telling me about it one time. And sometimes has actually pulled out the Millia recently for certain matchups.
Yeah.
Sometimes against, I know characters like Chip have given Testament a hard time. And
Marvin he's at
Millia
this
for
point
those.
a character specialist in the sense that he has 3 solid characters to choose from at this point, right?
Yep.
Millia, Testament,
And
Bridget as well. Limland, a younger player coming up. He's been making some waves over the past couple years, along with his good friend, I believe, DC. They both went off to college this year, but he's still showing up, still competing, looking very strong. As you mentioned, he's a Millia player. He does play a lot of other characters as well. But we expect to see the Millia. I wonder if it's going to be Millia against Testament.
I'm not sure, as we're just hovering on character select screen.
Yeah, Marvin's
hovering the
thinking.
same, but I don't think he's thinking about the Sin. He's probably thinking, do I play the Testament?
Marvin's pocket Sin.
Do I play the Bridget? I don't think Marvin's going to play the Mirror, though. Millia Mirror is a very cursed matchup.
Is it?
But it looks like we are getting Millia Mirror. So, how you were talking about Millia flying around like a dog on crack? You know what happens when you put 2 dogs on crack in the same room?
Yeah, we don't even comment. We're just like, yep, that's what happened. So Testament
Millia Mirror is Millia trying to random the other Millia, or just playing the most solid, stable game you've ever seen. No in between. Millias are crackheads when they're fighting each other. But we are getting the Testament after all.
How do you
Marvin
feel about
trying to contest his old main like
how do you
this?
feel about the Testament matchup as Millia?
Millia Testament is interesting. I've fought Marvin in this matchup before when I was playing the character a lot. And I feel like Marvin was thinking for a long time because, as we said, Chip gives Testament a hard time, right? And part of that is these characters are really good at closing space.
Yep.
One thing we saw when Marvin was fighting Hotashi was just swinging the fire slashes in the corner, right?
Yeah, Testament has such great ground and normals. However, it doesn't really matter when Millia's just in the air.
Yeah, if you whiff one of those, Millia can maybe get a run in 2K. Marvin can also potentially get caught by just like run up 2K in neutral. A lot of ways for Millia to air dash over stuff, just like that, air dashing right over the poke.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a good conversion for Limland here.
Looks like in neutral, Marvin's going to have to rely on a lot of these good air-to-air normals that Testament does have, but not round start, but from that round start position, getting a big counter hit, and the pressure is on. Scoping the jump out is Marvin.
I like the wild assault conversion from Marvin there, not even getting the full wall break, but just using it to stuff out some of the resource gain Limland got from positive bonus, and already with the advantage.
It is my positive bonus. Watch your toes. Arbiter sign.
Just turned that around so fast.
Yeah,
Limland got the positive bonus, and Marvin was like, oh, my advantage, please.
Yeah. And you know, Millia, great grounded normals of her own. 2K, 2D, of course, the classic. Great range. Watch your toes. Marvin switching sides here, putting Limland in the corner. Looking for a spot to get out is Limland. Unfortunately, going to have to deal with this wall of hitboxes that Marvin's putting out. Like I said, he is just cool, calm, cool, collected. Loves to just chill under that clock, keep you in the corner. Going to break that wall. Positive bonus. Tough spot for Limland here in the first round.
Was that the super flash of Nostrovia, but then the wall broke? Did you hear that?
Did he get cheated?
No, did you hear that little sound? It sounded almost like a, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter though. Marvin closes it out anyways. And you know, you can see so much of the character experience from having been a former Millia player, right? Just when Limland went for that mix-up in the corner that we saw Vega actually do, right, with the TK Capel, Turbo Fall Capel in the corner. Marvin just waited, jabbed that out. Even after the situation, just jump, JD, trying to stop Millia from just jumping.
Yeah,
right?
Marvin very aware of the options that Millia has.
I don't even think that JD leads second version of this hit, just trying to stop Limland from getting that jump. But Limland jumping in there anyways, getting the positive bonus again.
Just hopping in on round start, hopping over that normal, getting his first hit, breaking the wall early, positive bonus for Millia. You definitely don't want to get knocked down if you're Marvin here, because Millia with full resources is so scary, but Marvin going to break the wall himself. Both players, positive bonus.
And applying stay in state for himself here. Again, it's just that defensive awareness, right? That cool and calm, collected play. Not missing an opportunity to convert off of a defensive touch.
The jump grab, you knew that YRC was coming. Limland's got to get out of there, start the pressure of his own.
Catching the air Grave Reaper, though. Gotta hold this
Situation
corner
in the corner. YRC, Marvin just running up and grabbing.
Taking advantage of the momentum. You know, Marvin has been so good at establishing these strikes to stop Limland from moving, taking advantage of that and going for the throw.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, you know, Limland, of course, a little bit of a younger player, Marvin much more experienced. Maybe he's sensing a little bit of fear or hesitation. Able to get away with these run-up grabs
I think so.
2 times in the last round.
And even here, right, sensing some of the I want to start getting offense and just poking out the dash up, what I would assume is a throw attempt after about 2K.
Look at this Arbiter sign. Arbiter
no,
sign.
Overhead Arbiter fast RC, low Arbiter sign. I got hit.
That was gangster.
that was ridiculous.
Why not? That's the old charge dust RC low there.
That's a statement right there.
Wow, that 2D trading. Yo,
just the full screen haircut.
Pulling up, I'm in.
Yo, as a Millia player, sometimes you just want to do it. Like the spirit, it's just like the spirit of DP. Sometimes the spirit of full screen haircuts in there. You see Limland smiling.
Dude, I get hit by full screen haircut too much, and it upsets me to no end every time. I see it coming, I'm just like, yep, I'm just gonna get hit by this. Why not?
And Marvin, yep, you gotta burst that. 2H starter for Testament. You do not want to pull any of that.
Especially if you're Millia with that low health pool. You are made out of paper mache. Marvin locking down Limland. You'll see.
I love that we were talking about the Millia movement, and Marvin's over here doing the same kind of movement to just jail Millia, but Limland finding a way out for the full corner carry.
Baits the reversal super. Great awareness from Limland. Good patience. Marvin having to spend the burst to get out of the corner. Big close slash starter. It is so hard to jump in on Millia. That close slash is a juiced anti-air for Millia.
It seriously is. Just go straight up, right? Like Marvin, with probably the right idea, going for a preemptive air to ground there, but clear close slash.
Millia doing her best soul bad guy impression there with close slash, close slash, close slash combo. I love to see
4
it.
close slashes in one combo.
Great
a
combo.
Millia special. Only need one button to play this game.
All right, both players taking a second to collect themselves.
Take a breather.
And the patience on the round start. Respect from both of them this time.
Right.
Marvin, of course, recognized that Limland just went in last time on the last round start. Both of them just dashing back, walking back. Limland getting the pressure started early. Marvin having expending the burst to get out of the corner. Oh,
Going for the throw. Limland is not biting on these anymore. Maybe shook off some of those newer player nerves.
Yeah, no hesitation from Limland now. Marvin having to spend more resources defensively to get out, but you cannot keep Limland out here taking a quick first round, looking strong.
I like the choice of the raw 6H there to kind of close some space, and unfortunately just clipped Bepaw's landing recovery a little bit there.
Yeah, you notice, again, I really like Limland just keeping it safe on round start. You know, if you're Millia, obviously you want to get in on Testament. Marvin is doing a good job of zoning, but Limland not overcommitting his options, not trying to get a little too antsy, trying to get in. Marvin, of course, just putting out these hitboxes, trying to get these stray hits.
I like that Marvin's varied the zoning options too, even going for the really high succubus hit with the air crow there. Yeah. Blocks the cross up.
He's just putting out hitboxes, taking the space, telling Limland, hey, you got to deal with this first. It's
the character experience here. Air throws the Capel.
He knows Millia's love trying to get out of the corner with Capel. Marvin ready for it, jump up air grab.
Like I said, right, you can tell that Marvin used to play this character. He's just so aware of the way this character might want to move. And again, stopping the Grave Reaper just enough to stuff out the approach.
Yeah, good block on the triple overhead by Limland, but unfortunately not enough.
And big Wild Assault starter to get this round going for Marvin here.
Yeah, good corner carry, of course, knocking out a little bit of that burst gauge for Limland, not giving him the opportunity to burst out and get a little bit of breathing room, however.
And just a red RC off the far slash hit. Bepaw wants this full conversion into a stay-in-state safe jump. You know, one of the weaknesses about Testament, as you mentioned, people say this character might not be the strongest, is having this two-step game of needing stay-in-state. But Bepaw has been so good about establishing that.
Wow, using hair card to punish Grave Reaper. Of course, Grave Reaper, a lot of people might not know, there is a huge extended hurt box on Grave Reaper, both versions in front of Testament. It's not all hitbox, it's not all disjointed. Limland knowing that, great matchup knowledge, gonna get the wall break here. No hard knockdown, however. Oh,
and just swinging, no fear.
Why not?
Limland's probably, I like that choice there because Marvin coming into this, or Bepaw coming into this with full burst on the table, probably thinking Limland will be like, all right.
Why not?
They're gonna get scared. Might want to burst. They're going to be looking for an opportunity to get me off of them. But Bepaw, unfazed, being like, no, I am in there.
Yeah, very smart there because it's going to cover a lot of options, right? Post wall break there. He's got meter. Maybe it's going to catch a BRC forward. It's going to catch dash up. It's going to catch jump as well. So Marvin, very good
color change install?
It's town or song change?
The color install for Limland?
I like the color install and the song install.
I've never seen Limland not play default Millia.
Wow.
Limland rubbing his hands together.
The dark side.
Warming up.
So shout out to Limland Flow.
Trying to keep the hands warm to execute this crispy movement.
You know, it's funny. Most times you see characters try to chase Millia in the air. She's so elusive. But a lot of times it looks like Limland is just trying to chase Marvin in a sense. And Marvin's just kind of standing still.
Right. I mean, that's what Zoners do to you, right? Zoners say, you've got to come to me. I'm not trying to play your game. You're playing mine.
Interesting. We saw again that round start Capel to jump over the normal. That's the second time Limland's done that against Marvin. You have to notice that the round start options are varied for both players. Very smart awareness, very good adaptations for both characters.
And the defensive options with that empty jump into jab and just the raw hair car. Yet again,
Marvin
Bepaw blocking the cross
up.
It looked like that was actually an attempt to air throw the Capel there. Just close slash, close slash, close slash.
The extension. Millia, of course. Sometimes I just see Millia combo you, and it just keeps going. And I'm like, when does this end? Why am I bouncing so many times? Put me down.
Wild Assault conversion here. Gets the full stay state conversion and the post-wall break stay state.
Similar situation as last game. Limland taking that quick first round. Marvin, of course, fighting back. Very strong showing in the second round. Going to be in a very tough spot is Limland. Marvin with full double positive bonus. Not that it's a thing, but, you know, mentally.
Yep. And just cycling resource here. Positive bonus into positive bonus. We're playing DFCI now.
Marvin not needing to commit. Just, I got this health lead. You got to come to me. You got a hair card.
I like the 6H there, probably trying to call out a backdash attempt.
Limland.
And the 6P sniffing out the teleport. How did he know?
Oh, no.
Not enough to kill.
Not like this. Well, Limland
again
waiting
calling
for the
out the teleport. How does he know?
Scoping it out.
This is the first time Bepaw has even represented the teleport in that situation.
You always got to be ready
and
for it,
Limland was just ready.
And Bepaw is very good. Bepaw is very good at just faking the teleport. He knows people are looking for it. and he's just very content, faking it, or not even teleporting at all, just putting it out there, representing it, forcing it to stay back and cover the option of the teleport. Gold burst.
Gold burst, finding the right opportunity to get that and get positive bonus here in neutral.
Limland finding a lot of mileage out of the 6P. Marvin whipping it on up a 6P of his own, keeping it safe with RC.
And
now
Bepaw has been
time.
so on top of getting these fast RCs to mix things up.
Limland, no RC on
the flex shield
the
again.
Raw hair car.
Bepaw, I love that you can also see the mastery of the new system mechanics and the use of the flex shield. Some of the best we've seen today.
Dash up, Marvin just switching side, trying to maintain that distance. RC
RC
finally
baited.
scopes it out this time. Marvin has gotten away with it a couple of times right off of the close slash, but Limland ready for it this time. Cross up. Millia is just going to kill you.
Dead.
Huge
Limland
round for
evens
Limland.
it out. Game 5. What will we see?
Yeah, at this point we
Taking
are
a
at
moment to
layer
think.
2 and 3. Both players.
We're
trying to think
way
about the game
deeper
plan.
than layer 2 or 3. These players have fought too much
What's
to
the
be
round start?
that
Back
shallow.
up? Yeah, we're backing up. We're
Simple
chilling.
walk back and the counter hit. Bepaw, I love the preemptive choice here.
I think if I'm Limland, I think you got to take a little bit more of the aggressive option. You have to get in.
And
That
there it
ball's
was,
so good at
right?
zoning.
Preempting Marvin's attempt to preempt there.
Getting the burst out. Nice block on the Arbiter sign. Ooh, watch your toes.
Both
Good
players
low.
getting aggressive here.
Limit's got to remember, Marvin does have 50 meter.
Yep. They
Baits
both
the
have-
RC.
baits the
YRCs. There it is again. Yes.
Probably expecting close slash pressure here.
Yeah,
Not
Marvin,
trying
or
to hold any of
Limland,
it.
recognizing the 50 meter from Marvin, and he has been a big fan of that YRC, not having any of it. Burst out of the corner. Let's go, Limland.
I love that high-low there. Testaments are so prone to doing the JH, JD thing.
Oh,
and just dropping
baits
into
it of
the
his
low.
own.
That's a big counter hit to eat. And Bepaw taking the round, going on set point here over Limland. With more resource on the table as well. This is a bad spot for Limland to be in.
Wow, that round start. Marvin trying to look for an air-to-air. Limland trying to look for something on the ground.
Empty low, a fighting game classic. There it is, the classic Testament air string.
Triple overhead. Stuffing out the Waddle Slot. Unfavorable trade for Limland, but able to find a little bit of space here, a little bit of breathing room. Good 2K.
It's out a little bit.
A favorable trade for Limland there.
Trade at least gives some advantage. No disc mix.
Really tough spot for Limland. Low on
Fuzzy
health,
mash
low on
from
resources.
Bepaw.
Not going to be able to get a burst, I don't think, in this round.
just
He
backing
is
off.
on his last legs. And Bepaw going to use Nostrovia here, going to lock it down. This is a very tough spot, Limland.
There it is, the empty low from Bepaw. I love that option of the IDJS to whiff and go into the empty low. Again, we see that one airstream from the Testament so much. Every Testament does it.
Triple overhead.
ID, JH, JD,
I still get hit
Grave
every
Reaper,
time.
same. Because any one of those times can be the switch into the low, and you never know what's going to happen. Bepaw saving it for this last game to close out the set and advance into top 8 on loser's side over Limland. But great stuff to Limland. Unfortunately, we will only have one Millia in this top 8.
Yeah, you can see the sigh of relief on Bepaw's face after that. I mean, anytime you fight Millia, after that set, you're just like,
For real. And like I said, right, a character that he knows it can be a tough one. We saw the long set of just thinking right before getting into that. Sitting there and meditating on which character to get into, but clearly made the right choice. Full mastery over Testament, seeing so much control over the buttons, the specials, the zoning, the defense, every aspect of gameplay there. Well done to Bepaw moving on in this bracket.
Yeah, and the most impressive thing, I think, is the recognition defensively, right? As a former Millia player himself, he does know a lot of the setups, and he is blocking a lot of these. Well, I would say Limland is not necessarily as much of a fan of the crazy turbo fall stuff as we saw earlier, but Millia still potent mix, and Marvin able to block a lot of those cross-ups in the corner, able to get himself out, and then having to make Limland deal with all the hitboxes he's putting out on the screen. So tough loss for Limland. It looked like he was really heating up a little bit, but again, Marvin just so well composed.
Yes, and moving on to prepare to fight Jano in this loser's top 8. And for that last slot in loser's top 8, we are about to get SQ versus Razzo. This is so crazy to see here at Ignite at our regional.
Yo,
I feel
look
like
at
this
this
is a
top
match,
8.
right? Like recent top 8s for both of these players at big majors. I feel like this is a match that you would see at like the likes of an Evo or Taku, CB, or Frosty to get into top 8. But here we are at our regional with SQ against Razzo, two of the best players of their respective characters in this whole continent.
The talent in the room, both in this game as well as in other games, is unreal.
Absolutely. I mean, arguably even some of the best players of their characters in the world.
Yeah,
at this
I'd go so
point.
far as to say that.
They were right here in this room fighting for the loser side top 8 spot. It just speaks to the crazy level of talent that we've had this weekend in this bracket.
Yeah, of course, we still have Umisho, Hotashi, Macho on the winner's side. Still stacked. This top 8, it's going to be a slog all the way down to the finals.
It really is. And the winner of this will move on to fight the other Millia, Vega, waiting in top 8 right now. We're getting these song selections. I love watching players pick a song before every match.
Yeah.
It's so fun to see not just the players' taste, but like just watch the players try and get into the mood, get the vibes going as they head into important bracket matches.
Yo, I like the song. You know, if we're going to hear the circle, we are going to be able to hear the circle. I love this song. As a bedman enthusiast myself, a bedman enthusiast, I like that song.
Bedman?
Bedman? Bedman?
Perhaps?
All right, Razzo on the Giovanna against SQ, Ramlethal, Valentine. They've fought many times, I am sure. They are familiar with each other.
Probably also in bracket. And Razzo sticking with the new pick of the Giovanna. You know, there's been so much conversation, I feel like, over time about whether or not the Strive soundtrack is good.
Dude, the Strive soundtrack is good.
I love a lot of the DLC tracks. I know vocal tracks aren't everyone's thing, but what a great choice heading into important second. And wow, the Wild Assault pickup. I thought that was going to drop. I did not think that was going to convert with that low pickup.
Yeah, showing the mastery and time spent in the lab to get those conversions. That PRC to make sure you get the extra bit of time to convert that combo break.
Is that going to kill?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even need to spend the meter.
Oh, yeah.
Just kills with the spiral arrow. Commanding start from Razzo here.
Big counter hit for SQ. Going to get Razzo immediately in the corner. Going to break the wall. This is a rough spot to be in. Wild Assault, of course, getting you that hard knockdown post-wall break situation. Immediately, SQ able to mix with that overhead. Hard to see in that explosion. Going to break the wall again.
Tap
SQ.
5D.
Full meter, full resources coming up.
5D, the reactable, unreactable.
I like SQ recognizing, you know, she does have the wall break positive bonus, so she's going to burst early, get that, already has half of the burst back, and we'll get it again possibly in this round. Backdash BRC for
BRC,
both.
BRC. I thought, wow.
The air-to-air.
Command dash.
Good on Razzo to not bite on that with close slash. Could have been able to jabber check, but SQ.
The low high with the 2K 5D taking out that last little bit of health from Razzo.
We have seen a lot of whiff.
Counter hit 2D, that's a big starter for Geo.
Look at that conversion.
Almost 50% positive bonus.
SQ
Right.
using that the Wassault.
Yep, and SQ with another one of her own.
Spends
Get
two
that
of them to make sure
positive bonus wall
Razzo does not have burst in this next interaction to bail himself out.
PRC overhead. I got hit.
All right, full meter for Razzo. You gotta start thinking about reversal options.
Yep. 5H combo. Just going for the Wild Assault.
Knocking off
Cashing
that
out
burst.
for knockdown and resource over damage.
Fully charged Wild Assault as well, taking off more of the burst gauge. Oh no, you're dead.
A big hit off that bait. I love that opportunity of just sniffing out the YRC, right? At first, I was kind of questioning the choice of the 5K red RC. Like, you've got offense, 5K is mad cancelable, got a lot of stuff you can do, but definitely was trying to sniff out a YRC there and succeeded.
Yeah, one thing we've been seeing game after game from all the characters in our top 16, YRC is such a good defensive option, especially in these extended pressure sequences, especially post-wall break. But players are recognizing that that is something that you don't want to do. I don't want to be blocking for 90 million years. I don't think he does either, so
And speaking
recognizing
of
it.
pressure sequences, I like that. It looked almost like a drop from Razzo, just opting to keep the corner there. SQ with a chance to get her own corner carry.
Yo,
Nice poke on the Geo step dash.
great check with the 2K, knowing.
And tap 5D again. How did Ram build up all that
She was
meter
burst.
while on defense? Oh yeah, that burst.
Woo! Clutch burst from Razzo. Unfortunately, SQ not going to be able to cash in with that 50 meter, losing that super. But Razzo
preemptive
back
poke.
on the offense, missing. She's dropped that combo a couple of times. Obviously, it's going to be a new route, I think. So I don't know if it's a routing thing or a timing thing, but we've seen that unfortunate drop a couple, especially I think in the Frank matchup as well.
Probably a combination of both. Some of those launches are a little bit touchy as far as the height.
Yeah, I know Giovanna with practically brand new routes
Right.
with Chave this patch.
Jano is not touching his ram combos.
Oh.
We've been seeing this for so long. And just holding on to the deflect shield. Nice pickup with the tap. 5K close up. That is not a Gatling.
Yeah, SQ
Looking
called
like
it out.
Xrd out here.
I'm out.
I love watching
I'm
characters fast RC to get out the corner. Ram just yeeting herself out of there.
Both players using all of their resources on defensive options. Do not want to be in the corner for either of these characters. Razzo,
Another unfortunate drop. Still probably getting used to these Chave conversions. BRC 5D pickup.
Break
The
the
low
wall.
proration.
Damn.
You know, Razzo's such a lab monster. It's been really cool seeing how between sets, between parts of the bracket, Razzo's on the setups, not even getting casuals all the time, sometimes just sitting there in training mode, right? Labbing out different conversions and situations. And what a pickup
Yeah,
to
both
get
these
mad
players
damage and close that one
so
out.
good at getting out of the corner.
Absolutely. And
SQ.
Razzo's turn to try and get out here against this ram pressure.
Flipping the script. Good check with the 2S on the dash, keeping him locked down in the corner.
And the jabs, keeping Razzo locked in. Not a conversion hit for the
pressure
sword toss.
Is relentless. She is just non-stop in your face. SQ.
Yep. Just spending the bar and the dash at 2S gets the clip. I'm guessing that was probably catching a walk back or a back dash. But
Yeah, Rams
just
2S. Very juiced. Great button.
only the two little taps to close that one out. And evened up at 1 apiece for Razzo and SQ in this loser's top 8 qualifier.
I'm sorry, 2S, Watt Assault, trying to keep that pressure going.
And keep it going she has. SQ has not relented
That
with these buttons.
stagger.
Woo! Off the wall bounce from 6H, that's going to be big damage.
Just a little delay.
You know what's
Enough
crazy?
catch.
That's nerf damage on that super.
Sorry, nerf what?
Nerf damage from the beam that, but that might even kill before.
Sorry.
But as this Mortobato just did.
That's a perfect round from SQ.
There it is, a
Or as
Ram
they say
classic.
in Scotland, perfect. Dash 5K, 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 excellent. Oh,
Another drop conversion, unfortunate. It might just be a timing thing. It's hard to really say.
I know Chave, I mean, it adds a little bit of frame, a couple of frames, right, to the start of the next move, but you know, I'm not necessarily a Giovanna specialist. I don't know her combos, but it looks like the timing is just a little bit too long there with the Chave to get the pickup.
Razzo blocking the Naruto style overhead again. You know, these are also players who did play in that exhibition the other day. I believe Razzo won at least the last set between them that I watched as part of that exhibition.
Yeah, Razzo right there, trying to bait out the burst, SQ not biting.
But I think both sets did actually go to game 5, so it really could be anyone's game here.
Yeah, the
And
exhibition was very
BRC,
close.
again, off the counter hit, 5K hit. BRC has been such an MVP in so many of these sets. That little bit of slowdown, getting to assess the situation, get a unique pickup for some good damage.
Yeah, we've noticed a lot of these players in this top 16 using their resources for movement, defensive options, you know, not a ton of combo extensions necessarily, but really recognizing the value in defensively as well as offensively of BRC, YRC, et cetera, et cetera. Wild Assault for SQ, going to go coast to coast, spending 2 Wild Assaults.
Both Wild Assaults
Wants
for this
to break
combo.
that wall so badly, and for good reason. SQ needing some resources here as Razzo is full up. Oh.
I love the reversal super. I was just about to say, I love trying to
Could she
reversal
not
through
have
this stuff.
RC?
Did not. She might have had RC, but I don't think
SQ
you have
has a
time to
meter.
RC that. I don't
I
think
don't
you had
know
time to
either.
RC that there. And Razzo just zooming in there enough to kill off of that, going up 2-1, threatening to close out the set and move on to top 8.
High octane gameplay. SQ taking a moment. She's trying to gather herself. Both these players, before they showed up today, went to the gas station, got that 96 high octane gas in their tank.
Just taking a moment to breathe. You
Very
don't gotta
important.
wait for the net play timer. You're
Yeah.
offline, you can breathe.
Yeah, very underrated technique. I think, you know, if you're playing offline, if you're in a high stress situation, just take a time. Take a second. Grab some water, breathe, recollect yourself.
I think one of the beautiful things about this game too is, you know, people have talked about how modern games strip out mechanics, but one of the cool things about this game, right, also makes it a little bit difficult, is how quickly you get to the abstract level of fighting.
Yeah,
It's
well,
right.
here's the thing. In Guilty Gear with the RC mechanic, right, it is so flexible and allows for so much player expression that you can kind of create a lot of these very unique situations and scenarios that
Woo! Punishing the Wild Assault just like that, right? A unique scenario. Calling out a Wild Assault, approaching attempt to maintain offense with your own preemptive poke. We have not seen that today.
both players reaching into that deep into that toolbox. The stagger pressure from Razzo. Look at the risk on SQ, able to get out with the PRC grab.
Woo! And Wild Assault pressure. Going for the jabs to trap a jump. Empty low. Blocked. I got hit. I didn't even see it. She landed.
Oh, no. So you mentioned earlier, right, that rock is plus from that distance.
Rock is +7. Rock
Plus?
is +7, and just in general, it doesn't matter the distance. +7. But again, it's got the startup that you can punish. So much of this pressure game is looking for that rock.
Yeah, one thing you want to know is from SQ, great job getting out of the corner. So when she does this, the mix with the sword shot, she's always likes to hide something underneath the explosion. Very hard to see, right? We saw the overhead last time, and then we also saw the charge 5 does after the rock. Razzo flipping the script
And it's
again.
so sneaky because even if you know the options, when that explosion's there, it can just be so hard to see. And opting not to go for damage, but just go for a little bit of Oki there with a guard crush situation.
It's like a Dragon Ball mix sometimes, you know, you hide it behind the assist.
All right.
Duel 3, these rounds have been going by at a brisk pace. SQ getting another big hit off the round start. So far, we've seen a lot of that. SQ taking the command of the game early. Razzo having to fight off the back foot, but strong player.
And it just goes to show, you know, the offensive prowess of these players. Such
And the
character
defensive powers
mastery.
too, right?
Absolutely. Defending against these strong situations. And on the offensive end, you know, being able to just keep running unique offensive situations. These players have seen so many different mix-ups in this game. And they still find ways to vary it. And
Run
just like
up
Razzo
nothing.
tried with the reversal. But SQ already onto it.
One thing that you have to know is these players are always watching that meter. They're always very aware and cognizant of what resources you have. And if they can smell a little bit of nervousness or a little bit of hesitation, that reversal, super SQ scoped it out. Nice and easy, quick as you like. 2-2, taking another second. Look at that. Breathing techniques. Calm yourself down. The last thing you want to do is get too antsy, especially when you're fighting these top players. They can smell fear from a mile away. You have to stay composed. SQ doing a good job of that.
And when you have so many of these stripped down options, it doesn't come down to, I just need to handle this button this way. I need to respond to this way. You're trying to get into the other player's head, right? And taking that second to breathe can be so key in getting that. Also in just building the awareness for these weird conversions. Funny trade on the air tap there, and Razzo ready to convert.
Getting the burst out. That's a nice win for SQ. You're down on the life lead, but you got the burst out. However, Razzo, knowing that he has
And just
a little Michael wave trying to get a 2-3-6H there. Not
SQ
happening.
holding that situation, just saving the burst for the next round. But Razzo up on set point once again. Wild assault pressure.
Good check by SQ. Scoping out the stagger pressure. Now going to start to pressure
Going for
of
corner
her
carry.
own. The rock into the grab.
Just the little bit of walk up too.
Yeah, the rock sucks you in a little bit too. It pulls
Yeah.
you in. That's an option I have not seen represented at all. Oh no, misses the combo. Would have killed her, unfortunately. But the charge
And the
does.
tap does. It looked
behind
like
the
Razzo
explosion.
stood up behind that too. Maybe second guess for a moment. And we are on
Dude,
a
we've
very
all been
fast last game,
We've
last
all
round.
been there. You see charge, you see dust coming, you stand up, and then you crouch at
Yep.
the last second. Like, yep, I think I want to get
Worst
hit.
feeling.
Razzo taking that space, dashing up.
I'm surprised that throw worked there. I thought that was going to hit meaty, but
Good
SQ
back
clearly
dash.
keen on the situation.
2 feet just to check. Saw backdash last time. Wanting to check any movement option. Reflect.
Deflect shield. I like that how it pushes her out, but SQ managing to get back in and maintain pressure.
Locking Razzo down in the corner.
Not
Wild assault
biting.
combo extension. This is not going
Are
to
you dead?
actually. Is it?
Counter hit starter. Are you dead? The headphones
yeah,
are
she's
already
dead.
off. And that is enough. SQ advancing on to top 8 on loser's side. We'll be fighting Vega later. Great stuff to Razzo though.
Yo, shout out Razzo. Huge,
Hard fought set.
Hard fought set. You see that sigh of relief on SQ's face.
Yes. And Razzo just, you know, shrugging that one off like, it happens.
It happens.
You're
That was
playing
tough.
Guilty Gear, strong offense, big buttons. Things can happen, but a great set from both players. And we are about to wrap this up. I believe we will be moving on to Street Fighter Top 16 next.
Yeah. We will be streaming, I think, top 3 later on for Strive, I believe. So check back in for that. Right now, we're going to kick it over to Street Fighter. Thanks for tuning in.
Catch you later.